What's up, nerd family? Welcome once again to the Point Extra Lounge. My name is Enosh, aka Enosh Fett, and it is good to have you with me in the lounge today. And it's good to see you guys joining in already. Today is a good day. It's Sunday. I have the day off tomorrow, and so I have the time and the pleasure of spending this evening with you guys. And so we're going to talk. We're going to have some fun. We're going to talk about what's going on this week in the news. What's up, Geeks and Gamers Entertainment? I literally just came from Mad Max Geeks and Gamers Entertainment, and I suggest that if you have not gone over there yet and seen Max's content, Max does some great stuff. I love Max, and Max has been a cool friend to add this last month or so, as well as a lot of you guys that I think of Brian and just a bunch of other people. I can't even start to name everybody, because if I start to name everybody, I'm going to forget everybody, and then you're all just going to be ticked. I'm going to get kicked out of the group, and Lord knows I don't want to get kicked out of this group. Lord knows there's a lot of toxic fandoms out there, and groups that would probably not receive willingly, but hey, it's okay. But go over and subscribe to Geeks and Gamers Entertainment. Max does good work over there. So tonight is the big call-in show, and so what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the link here in the comments. And you can go ahead and at any time feel free to chime in. If you never used StreamYard before, it's really simple. All you got to do is click the link, and really all you got to do is make a screen name. And we can come in, we can talk about whatever you want to talk about tonight. You guys make the show. And look here, you speak his name, and he shows up, Mr. Mad Max himself. What's up, Mad Max?
Come on, support show. I'm going to be on a few minutes, and then I'm going to go to bed for work tomorrow. I got a long day tomorrow. But just support the show.
Well, thanks, man. I tell you what, that's one of the bad things about doing this stuff, like in our free time, right? That it's like trying to find time to do it and like actually get sleep.
Yes. and it's family time. And
oh, I know, man. It's rough. It's rough.
My dogs get mad too. That's why Callie overreacts in the background a lot. She's like, "You're not paying attention to me."
Right. I know my dogs are the exact same way. The oldest one, he's all right, but the youngest one, she's like about 6 months old, and she loses it. There were deer in the backyard this week, and oh my gosh, that's all we heard was just dogs freaking out. But yeah, man, how are you doing, Max?
I'm all right. Interesting week. Man, I had 3 different groups coming at me all this last week.
What?
I was throwing out heat out in all directions. Video game people were upset with me. The usual. And hey, that's what I engage. That's what I like. I do have Andy. I'm not bringing up the Andy thing here again, but he did give me some constructive criticism behind the scenes that I'm like, okay, fair. So
I like about you, man. That's what I like about you. You seem like a a stand-up guy. I mean,
I throw criticism every which direction, but all I can ask of anyone, including myself, is to be better.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have a point of your criticism just to cancel people, then stop what you're doing.
Exactly.
If you're going to highlight something and then they at least consider and maybe alter course a little bit, not that they have to, but that's all you can ask of people is to be better. You can't unless they're something that's crossing the line where they go to jail or someone break the law. Did anyone break the law here? Not so far that I've seen.
I don't know. I've seen some shady deals. No. Money's changing hands. I don't know. No.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right. We haven't broken the law as far as I know. Oh well.
No, I did notice something, Max, that you talked about on your channel this week, and I wasn't aware of. That Intellivision is making a comeback.
Oh yes.
What's up? So I literally, I'm sitting here, and I literally. Right to the side here is my Intellivision 2.
Oh man, Enosh, I got the hookup for you, man.
Dude, so I got the IntelliVoice.
You know Tommy Tallarico?
I don't, but I've had.
No.
Yeah, dude. So I've got that Intellivision. I've had that since I was 5.
Oh man, Enosh. You know what he is for video games?
No, I do not.
He has done some of the best soundtracks for video games ever. He pioneered a lot in the early 90s where soundtrack and sound design became a focus of video games, and he did like Tony Hawk, he did Aladdin soundtrack for the game, Cool Spot. There's like he's worked on 350 games. He's done the Terminator for Sega CD, where he worked with James Cameron, and James Cameron said, you know what I would recommend, Enosh?
What's that?
Reach out to Tommy.
Okay.
Tell him Mad Max told you to get him in for an interview. Have your kids there too, because this is a kids focused. It's all about family. So he would love to, if they want to be on the stream, because he would love that type of. He loves that family, and your wife, loves that type of environment where he could talk to a family, because that's his main focus. It'll also, not that we only care about views, but it'll get you some views too. It'll be a great conversation.
We'll always take some views.
See here, look at Fovic. He's about to be indoctrinated into the cult. No, but go look at it. Go look at he also, the other thing that he's done for the industry is he celebrates video game soundtracks. So he started Video Games Live, if you ever heard of that.
Okay.
Where they do play video game music orchestras and tour across the country.
Nice.
I don't know how they're going to continue that now after all this, but he started that too. He was also a video game reviewer for a long time. Remember G4 video game channel?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I love G4.
Him and Victor Lucas, Electric Playground. Did you ever hear that show?
Yeah.
That was him.
Okay.
He was the other guy.
I thought familiar. I watched your video because, like, when I saw the Intellivision thing, like I'm one of those guys. Like, I have my original Intellivision from when I was like 5 years old. I got a ton of games.
If you show him that, he'll be super happy, because I'm honestly, I respect those games, but those games I have a hard time playing. Like the 16-bit era is like my jam.
Yeah.
Or 8-bit, 16-bit,
8-bit,
like NES, Master System.
Yeah,
but
that's
going back that far. Like I enjoy it, but these are going to be reimagined retro. They're all going to be $10 or less. The game's digital.
Really?
The console's $250, but you get 2 controllers. So everything you need is there, and you can use, if you have a family that's bigger than 2, which you do, you can use iPhones for the 3rd and 4th controller. You get an app. You don't have to buy other controllers.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So I told him definitely reach out to him now, because he said he's going to be busy.
Yeah, man, I for sure will. That sounds like fun, man.
He said the next focus is he's going to do, like, he's going to be at the Mom 2.0 conference and focus on like mom influencers and stuff, because
Okay.
So he said, definitely.
Yeah, no, that sounds like fun. Like I really liked Intellivision growing up. I mean, some of those games, actually, dude. So I have this crazy recurring dream that I have because of Intellivision, that I've had ever since I was a young kid, and it like every once in a while I still have this dream, and that is, I don't know if you ever played the game. There was a game called Triple Action. And it was like 3 different games in one. So you could play as tanks, like that 2 players that you go after each other, or you play racing cars, or you play biplanes. And the biplanes, you'd each start off on one side, and you'd hit the button, you'd go, and then you could go up or whatever. But if you went up too high, you would start to fall down like this.
Mm-hmm.
And so you'd have to like get momentum again, and like do a spin, or like get momentum to go back up again, whatever. And so you couldn't just go straight up. You had to kind of go up, get momentum, dip, and go up. And so I've had this reoccurring dream, Max, ever since I was a kid, that I can fly, but I can only fly like that. So like I'll run, and like I jump and I dip and I come back up, and like by the time I'm like way up, I'm like super high up in the air, and I'm just like falling from the sky trying to get momentum. And yeah, it's a crazy dream because of Intellivision.
Honestly, I don't know a lot of those old games. I'm excited to play the revision of them for sure.
Yeah, there's a couple of Tron games that were really cool. Tron Deadly Discs. that was pretty. I mean, it's all in that,
Oh, he wants
know,
that, but he's been trying to get Disney. He can't officially say anything yet.
yeah.
He's been trying to get. He wants Tron on the console of revisioned Deadly Discs.
That really needs to be on there, honestly, because that's their history.
But
I
you,
mean,
you have to pay
that
Disney licensing and to get it
yeah.
at $10 or less. I don't know. That's a hard.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but
We'll
Tron Deadly Discs, Mazes of Tron, I think it was called Maze of Tron. I think they had like 3 different Tron games for Intellivision, if I remember right. Yeah.
Oh, the Tron,
right.
Yeah, we might get Tron 3. I was right about my speculation. I'm like, what's the next best thing that like could come as like after the Snyder cut from fans would be like Solo 2 or Tron 3 would be the easiest because they already, they probably.
Well, I'm excited about that. I've been campaigning for that, man, forever. And
I don't want to be blasphemy here, but I like rewatching Legacy more than the original. Because the special effects, the soundtrack. Oh man, that Daft Punk soundtrack. Woo!
Oh my gosh. Oh man, that Daft Punk soundtrack is just fire. Yes. I mean, that you could put on headphones. I remember so like I've shared with you, like I'm not a huge gamer, but every once in a while I find a game and I play it until I beat it, and I'm just like fully immersed in it. And that was kind of how I was with Tron. Was it Evolution?
Mm-hmm.
So I got into that, and man, I would put on headphones and you listen to that soundtrack while you're playing that game, and it was just mesmerizing. I absolutely love that game. And but yeah, no, the only drawback to Legacy really is, and it's not really a drawback because they pioneered it, and that's the de-aging technology.
Yeah,
I mean, they pioneered that.
It still doesn't look right to me, but I think that's at that time that was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, you look at nowadays though with like some of the MCU stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my goodness, they do a really good job. But like I said, it was pioneering that stuff that had never been done before.
Mm-hmm.
So it's cool that that they're looking to possibly make that. I know that movie's gone back and forth so many times, but yeah, I was excited about that news this week. What did you think about this one, man? About the Batman Forever thing?
Oh yes, I want it now. I want it real bad, especially with the passing of Joel Schumacher and the 25th anniversary. And it's not like, from everything I mean, as far as I know, like none of us said you could just go get the Snyder cut out of a vault and press play. But this one you might be able to. This one might be that finished. I don't know. From what I've heard, it's just like it's done, right?
Well, no, I think this was like they're saying that this was his first kind of set that he set to Warner Brothers. Okay. So this was before he really made a cut. So it may be that it looks. Have you ever seen the Superman 2 Richard Donner cut?
Mm-hmm.
So it may be something like that, where like the parts are there, but it's not all together. But even so, I mean, I like the thought and the idea of just a little bit of a darker Batman Forever, because I like this movie. I always think it's a shame that this movie gets lumped in with Batman and Robin, and some of the stuff that that happened in that movie. But this movie, I always loved Batman Forever. I always thought it was a good movie, except for Tommy Lee Jones. This wasn't. He just was like the odd man out. His character didn't make sense as Two-Face to me.
Yeah, I could see that. I want to rewatch it soon. I haven't watched in a while. I
ironically watched it last week, the day before they announced this.
Unfortunately, I do have to get to bed because it's almost 1
okay.
for me. I want to meet up with you again on your channel sometime soon this week.
Absolutely, man.
I'll try to plan on Tuesday for that watch party.
All right, man. Sounds good.
Cool. But I got to get my. I can't believe it's Sunday night already. Well, Monday morning actually for me. I can't believe
That's all right, man.
Where the heck did the weekend go?
All right, so man. Thanks for
the
bump. Appreciate the bump over here from your live stream, and
that's what I think. That's how it works well doing that. If it's possible to try to do it. So go.
Yeah, man.
Stay watching. Support Enosh. Thanks everyone, and hi phobic. Yeah, we're gonna indoctrinate him into the Miko cult for sure.
There you go. There you go. All right, Max. All right, man. You have a good night.
You too.
See ya. That is Max. Max is a good guy. I have really enjoyed getting to know Max over here. So in the last month or so, like I said. So hey, yeah. So this is the call-in show. So here's how it works. I think I did see. So the StreamYard link is in there, and I'll put it back in there again. Here it is right here. And so if you follow this link, yes, you can use your phone. It will pick up your like if you have an iPhone or just any kind of smartphone, it'll pick that. So you don't have to have a mic. You can just chime in, man, and like I said, pick a screen name, and you're in. You're golden. We'll deal with it, and let me know what you guys what's on your mind this week, because that's what this show's about. I do plenty of videos where I tell you guys what my thoughts are, and we'll talk about what my thoughts are too. I mean, of course, because I can't just shut up and not say anything. But the whole point is for you. So I do want to say hi to a couple people who said hi in here. What's up, Arctic Conquest? What's up, Inhuman Quake? Good to see you. Of course, Brian Hill, Master of None, good guy. Him and we did a live stream last night with the Ambassador. Another good guy. We talked about G.I. Joe and Transformers, and man, that was so much fun. We had a blast. We were laughing our butts off and talking about man, just all kinds of craziness. I'll just say spoiler alert for that video. We talked about Unicron from the movie, and of course the fact that Orson Welles played him, and yeah, that was fun. And so there's that. What's up, 20th Century Duval? Good to see you. What's up, Richard Gilbert? Good to see you, Sir Nerd-a-Lot. Phobic. Good to see you guys. Who else in here? Sci-Fi Dragon. It's good to see you, brother. Eric Sledge. What's up? Yeah, fellow night owls. That's what that's how we roll. That's how we do. Is right here on the channel. And we got Kavari. We got Kavari chiming in. Oh yeah, hey Brian, I hear you, man. Well, if you change your mind, you're of course welcome here. Inhuman Quake, yeah, you should be fine with coming in. What's up, LDG Pixels? Inhuman Quake says, I hope Batman Forever extended cut that we get it. I love the movie. Yeah, it's a good movie. It really is. It's not horrible. Oh, also Crush It. Hey, so I actually, if you could see my broadcast center, so I have been so stinking busy this week, just trying to get out videos, and I've done some interviews. And I'll tell you what, I was shared with me. We were talking about, it is hard, man, when you have a family and you're trying to do the YouTube channel, and there's like tons of stuff coming out. It's hard to get everything, and so it's also been getting ready for my son Isaac. His graduation party is coming up, and so we're working in the yard doing stuff like that. But yes, we got a comic book giveaway. I'm going to record the video for the comic book giveaway when we get off of this stream. I got it all set up. It's all ready to go. So I know we missed a week, but I got a new way that I think we're going to do this, and so look forward to that. We give away comic books we're going to try every week here on the channel, and Crush It has donated those. It's the Milee Store. You can actually find them on eBay, and show you kind of how ready I am. Check it out. Got that right there. Comic book giveaway. That is that's the artwork for it. So you can know that I'm actually working on it. But yeah, so look forward to that. We're giving away comic books every week, and that's a lot of fun. And let's see here. I got somebody here waiting. We got J-Men waiting, and so I'll be right with you in just a second. Cylon Scotty, that was a good stream. Ambassador is a good dude. Yes, Cylon, I agree. Ambassador is a good guy. He's a stand-up guy. What's up, Darth Tasty? Always good to see Darth Tasty because he's tasty. What's up, Sky? And oh my gosh, yeah, that Orson Welles bit from last night was super funny. It was just really hilarious. And And so, Inhuman Quake, I think, pressed the wrong button, but that's okay. Hey, I do want to share with you guys something, because this is something that I think is cool, and I want to encourage you guys to check it out on the channel. Going to plug this real quick, and that is, of course, I did this interview the other day for a guy named Darth Angelus. His name's Damien, but it's Darth Angelus, and I had him here on the channel, and you find this, it's a really cool interview. He is actually doing animation. He's on chapter 6. He's going chapter by chapter through the book Heir to the Empire. So if you are if you're a fan of the Star Wars expanded universe, and I know that there's a lot of people who weren't happy with the sequels, check this out, because this is done really well. It actually has very much a Clone Wars type of vibe to it. It's very cool. The voice actors are pretty good. They're really good. I'd like, especially Thrawn and some others. Really good stuff here. And so you're going to want to check this out for sure. And this is a guy who just loves Star Wars, folks. He just absolutely loves Star Wars and is excited about it. And so check this video out here on the channel. Darth Tasty's seen it. He says, pretty sure episode 7 comes out Tuesday. Yes. Episode 7 is on the way. So like I said, it's so good. It's so good for sure. All right. So we're going to go to Sci-Fi Dragon. The Sci-Fi Dragon. What's up, man?
Hey, man. How's it going? I'm doing good.
It's going good. It's like I just saw you or something.
Yeah. I thought. So
how you been, man?
I've been doing good. I got the chance to watch a Hayao Miyazaki movie, actually, Spirited Away.
Okay.
And I thought it was pretty good. It was way better than the other anime movie that I watched, which was Tokyo Godfathers, which was directed by an anime director named Satoshi Kon. I haven't really seen that much of his movies other than Tokyo Godfathers, and of course Paprika, which is like a sci-fi anime film that like deals with dreams. It's sort of like Inception, where the characters, they go inside dreams and stuff.
That's cool. I've heard of Paprika.
Yeah,
I've heard of Paprika. Yeah. That's cool. I didn't know that that's what that was about, though. That sounds cool. I loved Inception. I thought Inception was cool. The concept of it. So that's cool. So what's new on the Godzilla front?
Well, there hasn't really been that much like actual news, because like a lot of the stuff that's come out is like old, and like it's been pretty quiet. Warner Brothers and Legendary, they haven't really like released anything or made any statements, so it's like the fans have had to go off of like speculation and rumors and stuff like that, because like I just released a new video about Godzilla versus Kong, and one of the comments I got was from another YouTuber. The character named Mechagodzilla was going to be in Godzilla versus Kong, which I never heard anything about. I don't know.
Oh, you're freezing up there.
Really official.
Yeah, no, I hadn't.
Was
heard
I freezing up?
Yeah, you froze up a little bit. Yeah. We heard Mechagodzilla, and then you froze up a little bit.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, when it comes to Mechagodzilla and all these other characters that are reported to be in it, it's like they're all just rumors, and it's like it's kind of hard to believe what's true and what's not true. It's sort of like a situation with DC a little bit, where you hear all these rumors about all these characters, and you don't know which one is true and which one is not.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. Now I did see, didn't you share something about like the possibility that there might be 2 endings?
Well, I mean, it's just like a hypothetical speculation, where it's like I'm asking the question, like, should there be two endings? Like would it be beneficial to the film and to the franchise? It's not like something that's been rumored or actually like officially said by Warner
Gotcha.
Brothers.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I try to make, and in the video I make the case that there should be two endings because then both parties will be satisfied. The people that want Godzilla to win will be satisfied, and the people that want Kong to win will be satisfied.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess I get that. I mean, because I'm a fan of both. So I get that to a point, but like Godzilla's king of the monsters.
Yeah.
Right? So like I kind of feel like Godzilla should win, but it should be like one of those things where like it goes definitely, toe to toe, like down to the end, and I think it's kind of like that whole like wrestling vibe, right? It's like you got to make it look good, and you got to make King Kong look good so that he can go on to something else, in another movie, and you don't feel like, well, he just, it's not a squash match. It's not, where he just, gets his butt handed to him, and and then it's like nobody cares about Kong anymore because like, well, Godzilla took it out, but I think they could do that. I mean, I think they could show Godzilla being the dominant creature, obviously, and but at the same time pay respect to Kong, where Kong comes out of it looking good, well, and maybe that's where like a Mecha Godzilla kind of comes into play, because if you have maybe humans trying to get involved, I don't know the whole backstory of Mecha Godzilla. Is he created by humans? Eddie's frozen. If I remember right, oh, we dropped out. If I remember right, I thought, and maybe you guys can help me out here in the chat. I thought that Mechagodzilla was created by humans. So if that's the case, like maybe it's like a deal where humans create this creature, or maybe it comes from some other source, and so then kind of at the end, kind of like a Batman v Superman kind of thing, where they, even though they're going against each other, that they have to come together in the end, and fight off whatever threat it is, maybe not even Mechagodzilla, but either way. So yeah, I watched King of the Monsters last year on a flight, because we just didn't, for some reason, I don't even know why we didn't. And Melissa will be with you in just a minute. I want to give Mr. Freeze, excuse me, a chance to come back in if he can and finish that conversation. But yeah, no, I ended up watching it on a flight because we never saw it. We didn't see it in theaters for some reason. I saw the first one in theaters. I really loved the first Godzilla, and I liked Godzilla King of the Monsters a lot, actually. And I actually liked it a whole lot more than I did that original one. And so, yeah, I thought it was a good movie. I've been looking forward to this. Hey, what's up, Crush It? Sorry, I'm just now seeing this, but Crush It with the $2 donation. And ask the question, has the two secret DC movies been debated? So we haven't in this video yet. We haven't in this stream debated yet the two movies, but we have talked about it in a variety of other of videos and things. So we definitely have talked about it. It could be a number of things. It could definitely be in fact, I think he's here. Yeah, Gungaga called in about it the other night, and we had a conversation, a good conversation about it. Gungaga is always a great guest to have in here. But yeah, we talked about it, that like it could be more Justice League, and I wouldn't be mad at it if it was. But we also were talking about that it could be was it Blackhawks? You know, one of those. So there's definitely a lot of things. Here, Sci-Fi Dragon's back. I want to finish up with Sci-Fi Dragon here about Godzilla. So am I right? Was Mecha Godzilla created by people, or was it like alien in nature?
Well, as you know, like with the Godzilla franchise, there are different versions and iterations. Like in the first series, which is called the Showa series, Mecha Godzilla was created by aliens, but in the later two series, the Heisei and the Millennium series, he was created by humans.
Gotcha.
And in
Okay.
in the first series, Mechagodzilla was actually a villain created to destroy Godzilla and to destroy the Earth. But in the other two series, he was a hero that was designed to combat against Godzilla and protect humanity, basically. Or I guess protect Japan specifically, not the entire humanity.
Sure. So if we get a Mechagodzilla in this, which would you prefer?
Well, actually, I wouldn't mind him being like a villain, but just built by humans, because we've already seen him like be a hero like 2 times already, and like in the comics that AEW did, he was a hero as well. So it'd be a nice change of pace to see him as a villain and designed by like the human antagonists to destroy Godzilla and destroy the Titans, because that's what the monsters in the Monsterverse are called. They're called Titans.
Okay.
And then another character I've seen is Mechanicon, which is like a robotic version of King Kong that was in the Toho film King Kong Escapes. And what's interesting about that film in particular was that it was actually like an adaptation of a cartoon show with King Kong, and like I guess Toho acquired the rights from Rankin Bass to make that show, because the show was made by Rankin Bass, but they changed a lot of elements, and of course a lot of the rights for that character went to Rankin Bass, so it would be kind of difficult for them to bring that character into the Monsterverse. So, but I mean, it would be cool to see, especially for like a Kong solo film where it's just about Kong and Godzilla's not in it, for him to go against the robot version of himself.
Yeah, you probably gotta. I mean, you gotta space the stuff out. You know, you can't throw everything in there. I think that's probably a mistake, just throwing everything in the kitchen sink into one movie. I mean, the focus really, I think, of the Godzilla versus King Kong thing, because I mean, I remember being a kid, and even though I was never like super into the lore of Godzilla, you know, like I was aware of Godzilla, and I'd watch you know, movies occasionally. They'd be on like a Saturday afternoon or something like that, and I would watch one. And so there was that, but even I remember as a kid it being a big deal that, you know, the old movie King Kong versus Godzilla, you know, like that was the big one that I remember as a kid. So I'm looking forward to this new version, and I like this new Kong. What do you think of the new Kong?
I like him, actually. I think they.
Come on, stream.
Oh, I froze up.
Here we go. Yeah.
But anyway, what I was saying was I do like the new version of Khan. I think they did a good job like designing him and like developing his character, because like he's basically a protector of Skull Island. That's basically what he is. And he and they kind of established like he doesn't really want to involve himself in the greater affairs of like the Titans. He just wants to keep to himself and stay on the island. So like, because like in the novelization for Godzilla King of the Monsters, they actually mentioned Khan, and they said that like he didn't respond to King Ghidorah's call to all the Titans.
Well, that's cool. I like connections like that, and I really I really like the fact that they're setting up this universe, You know, somebody, Mr. Horror Junkie 78 says thoughts on Godzilla 98. So my thoughts on that were it never really felt like a Godzilla movie to me. It felt like almost like a wannabe Jurassic Park. I don't know, like a mega sized Jurassic Park kind of deal. What did you think, man?
Well, I didn't hate it as much as other people did. It was actually
Okay.
one of the first Godzilla movies I actually ever saw as a kid, and
Okay.
and I can definitely see the criticisms for it. The Godzilla design isn't like the best. Like, it doesn't really look anything like Godzilla, and the character himself doesn't really act like Godzilla.
Mm-hmm.
But for what it is, it's a decent popcorn flick, I guess.
Yeah, I think there's just people who wanted to hate all around. I mean, like, because I'm a classic rock guy, and I mean, I remember P Diddy. He did his song, was it "Come With Me" or whatever, to "Kashmir" by Led Zeppelin, and people wanted to hate on that, even, because they were like, oh, you can't use a classic rock song like that, and like I don't know, it was just weird. Like, it seemed like it got panned a lot, just everything. Like, people were just wanting to really pick it apart. But, it wasn't horrible. It wasn't horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you got Frank Azaria in there, and I always love him, and Matthew Broderick seemed to do a decent job. And of course, I love the scene where Godzilla finally comes up to the dock. I think that
Oh yeah, that's a good scene.
that scene's cool. Yeah, that's a good scene. So.
And there was also the animated series that came out of that
Yes.
98 movie. Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yes. No, you're right. I totally forgot about that. But yeah, you're right. They had the animated series for the longest time, and that was based on the same thing. So
And
yeah, and I thought the animation was pretty good too.
Yeah, and what's interesting about that is that the fans have gravitated more towards the animated series than the movie. Like, they like the animated series more, and they accept it more as a real Godzilla piece of entertainment.
Yeah. I see that. Yeah, no, that's and it was fun. I mean, I watched it a little bit, but I didn't watch it a ton. But it seemed like when I did watch it, it was well done, and the way that they approached it was done well, so.
Yeah. Did you ever see the old Hanna-Barbera Godzilla cartoon?
Oh yes, for sure. With was it Godzuki?
Yeah.
I always thought that was funny because they would have the intro to it. It'd be like Godzilla, and then it would be like, and Godzuki. It's like,
yeah.
What in the world's that all about?
I saw the full series, but I actually bought like this DVD that had like a few episodes on it, and I got to watch quite a few of them. And I mean, it is definitely cheesy. Like, looking back on it, it is like kind of like a little like weird and cheesy, but like it was definitely fun to watch, I would say. Like, the monster designs are pretty good.
I like Phobic. I'm looking forward to the other spinoff, Weekend at Zilla's. And then Phobic says if it's not a man in a rubber suit, it's not Godzilla.
I mean, fair enough. I mean, there was no way they were gonna do a Godzilla movie in America with like the rubber suit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Gagaga says looking forward to the Godzilla spinoff, Godzilla's Day Off. Oh. Hey, Crush It. Just so you know, yes, we're all aware of Sci-Fi Dragon's internet connection. It is thing of legend.
Yeah.
That we call him Mr. Freeze for that reason. It's all good. if you haven't seen him yet, we roll with it because Sci-Fi is good. He's a good guy. All right, man. Well, hey, I'm all for that, and I've tried to get into some anime. I know that you're a big anime guy. I'll be honest with you. The most probably anime thing that I've ever really been into was you know, I mean, and I don't even know if this really counts, but I mean, it kind of does. But like Voltron, you know, like the
Oh
early
yeah,
early Voltron stuff, and you know, and then technically Transformers is anim, you know, kind of,
yeah.
you know, because it was
Well,
redone. But
I'm not the biggest like anime fan. I've only seen like a few shows and movies, so like
okay,
I'm not like a huge expert, but I am starting to get more into it. Like especially like all the major classic movies that everybody praises in the
hmm
anime fandom. You know, like of course the Studio Ghibli movies. You know, Satoshi Kon. You know his movies, and of course Ghost in the Shell. I've seen the first one,
hmm
and I also plan on watching this other movie by that same director called Sky Crawlers, which is like a airplane movie, I guess.
hmm
It's like it has to do with like a like air World War II style dogfights, but it doesn't
okay.
specifically take place in World War II or something.
Hmm. Yeah, like I'm not as versed in anime, but I got a lot of friends who are into anime. And so yes, I mean there's a lot of stuff that people will tell me about, and then I'll check it out and you know and think it's cool. Richard Gilbert tells me that I should watch Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah,
I'm aware of Cowboy Bebop, and I have uh watched individual episodes of Cowboy Bebop, but like I haven't like got into it as far as like watching it like seriously, I guess. You know?
yeah. Well, I mean, I recommend it. I watched the whole series like twice, I think, and it's a really great show. I think you would like it. I think the great thing about Cowboy Bebop is that although it does have like overarching storylines and has like character arcs in it, like it's not like a story where like you have to watch every single episode in order. It's more like an episodic episode where you can just watch any episode for the most part.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. Yeah, well, I have to check it out. Definitely. I'm gonna have to check it out. Because he says that it's awesome. So
Well,
let's see.
I think I'm gonna head out pretty soon. But one
All
thing
right, yeah.
I wanted to cover before I go is that I before I went on to Max's stream, I noticed that something was making the rounds on Twitter, which was that James Gunn put out a tweet talking about the live action Scooby Doo movie he worked on from 2001.
Mm-hmm.
And basically what he said was that in the script for the movie, Velma was supposed to be gay, or yeah, she was supposed to be overtly gay and like basically like a lesbian. And when they went to shoot the movie, the studio made them like change it a little bit to make it less obvious. I guess they weren't on board with it, so like they shot it to make it more ambiguous. And when they like did it in the editing, when they went to edit it, they gave Velma a boyfriend at the end to like, you know, make it more concrete that she was straight.
Yeah.
And I guess James Gunn is like put that out there to maybe like drum support for like a director's cut where that those elements are put back in or something. I'm not too sure.
Hmm. Hmm. That's that's interesting. I mean, I know people have always kind of, you know, made those kind of comments about Velma, you know. I guess I really don't have an opinion about that either way. You know, I guess for me, and this is like just for like cartoons in general and stuff. Like when people start coming out and like start like assigning sexuality to cartoon characters, I it's not that it bugs me. It doesn't bother me. It's just that like I don't think that that's what most people are there for, you know?
Yeah.
Like you know, like when it just came out, like apparently that, you know, SpongeBob is, you know, possibly gay. Uh like why? He's a sponge. It's like a crazy kids show that has nothing to do with any of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So why are we assigning sexuality to characters that really that we've never seen any kind of sexuality from before? So, you know, I don't know, but then I guess you could make the case where, you know, like if they say anything about SpongeBob having a girlfriend at any point or liking a girl, because I think I watched the show so with my son, and so I kind of always, I guess, assumed that he kind of had a thing for Sandy. But even so, I guess I would just say, I guess if you're going to say that, you know, it's not like crazy to say that a character has if it's a guy that he has a boyfriend, you know, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, you know, but it's just like how far you want to take that. And I feel like sometimes like it can't just be just said, it's got to be like a huge focus of that character all of a sudden. You know, so like you take a character that it's not, and all of a sudden it's like, well, this is this focus, so this character has to act in certain ways, and that's the only problem that I had with it. It's like I want to show like SpongeBob all of a sudden to become all about why SpongeBob is gay, because if SpongeBob is gay, it doesn't really matter, because obviously the show was never about SpongeBob being hetero.
Yeah.
Right. So
yeah,
it's about SpongeBob doing a bunch of stupid stuff.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like I kind of have mixed feelings about like what the James Gunn tweet, because like I'm not like really sure why he would want to focus on that element of Velma's character in particular in that script. But I mean, I guess depending on how he did it, it would have been okay. It wouldn't have been like a sort of what you would call woke or something like that. But
yeah,
but it's like, I don't know. I think you're, when it comes to characters from cartoons like that, I think it's best to not just address their sexuality at all, one way or the other. Just keep it you know, on the story or or their antics or whatever. Because I mean, the show Scooby-Doo, it wasn't really about any of that stuff. It was about them solving mysteries and getting into wacky situations.
Yeah. And the last thing I'm going to say on this, and then I do have to go because I got an influx of people here. But Darth Tasty put in here. He says, I think they actually confirmed SpongeBob. He's out. If not, he supports the community. And I guess Darth Tasty, that's what I got from it, because like the post never really said that he was actually gay. It actually said, here are some of our characters that have, you know, supported the community. And that I could see, because the creator of SpongeBob actually came out years ago and actually flat out said, look, SpongeBob is asexual. He's not, because there's been people who really wanted him to be gay a long time ago, you know, and he came out and said, no, you know, SpongeBob is asexual. So there's been a push for that for a while.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know if it was an actual thing saying, yes, he's out, or I kind of took it more of he supports the community, you know, but
yeah,
there's never been another word about it.
I mean, the creator of SpongeBob basically said that like SpongeBob is meant to be like a childlike character. Like he's not really supposed to like be concerned with like adult stuff like that, and that's kind of like what I took away from SpongeBob when I used to watch it, because I used to watch SpongeBob a lot when I was younger, because I was around the age when it was like in its prime, I guess.
Yeah. So I don't know, but you know, Phobic says that, you know, that it's weird when we try to assign all this sexuality to cartoon characters, and I know that it's a real popular thing to do. People have these fantasies. I can imagine this conversation with Matt Jarbo, who's in the backstage area, but maybe we'll address it a little bit. I don't know what he wants to talk about, but like, you know, there's like people my age, like, who have all these fantasies of cartoon characters and craziness, and obviously there's Rule 34 on the internet, you know, where basically people have, you know, assigned these sexual fantasies to cartoon characters and pretty much anything. And it's like sometimes, hey, it's just a cartoon, you know. It's like it's not meant to be it's not meant to be a commentary on society. It's just a group of kids doing their thing and solving mysteries, and and they would have gotten away with it too if it turns out to be Old Man Jenkins. It's like that's it. So I don't know. God bless James Gunn. He's for some whatever reason that he's doing it, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Well, hey man,
I mean,
thanks for. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh.
What'd you say?
I was gonna say that a lot of directors, ever since the Snyder Cut was confirmed, a lot of filmmakers on Twitter have been putting tweets out like that, where they talk about their original visions or what they originally planned to do before the studio meddled in with their vision, I guess.
Yeah, no, I hear you. But I don't know. Who knows if anything will ever come out of that? I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever get a director's cut of Scooby-Doo where, just to say that she's gay. I don't know, but it'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting to see how they play that. But well, hey, Sci-Fi, thanks for joining me, man. I appreciate you coming in for sure, man.
No problem, man. I just wanted to pop on and show my support.
Oh, well, I appreciate it. Hey, anything you're working on your channel where we can send people over to you?
Well, of course, I mentioned it earlier, but I've released a video about Godzilla versus Kong and the idea of having two endings, one where each of the characters win the fight. Mm-hmm. And I basically make the case that, yeah, there should be two endings, and whether you agree with that or not, you guys can post in the comments and we can discuss it below, I guess.
There you go.
So
there you go.
All right,
cool,
well,
man.
I guess I'll head out now.
All right, man. We'll see you later, Sci-Fi. Thanks for joining us, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Sci-Fi is a good guy, and even though we lovingly call him Mr. Freeze, he's a good guy and he's got a good channel. So go support Sci-Fi for sure. All right, so I do want to say hi to Marquez 768. It has been a long time, my friend. The fam is doing good. The family is doing really well. And for those of you who don't know, because we don't talk about this, and I've had a couple people mention this to me lately. They're like, "Hey, you don't talk about this stuff," and I probably should. But we have merch. We have Poindexter Lounge merch that you can get. It's the links are always in the descriptions of our videos, and so Marquez has actually designed a few of those shirts and those designs. We've got an Empire Strikes Back style design. I finally put it up. Marquez, it got buried in my inbox and I totally forgot about it. But I finally put it up, and that's like an old wrestling style NWO Poindexter Lounge shirt that's in there. And then there's another design too. So there's that. And and the hashtag I love Star Wars. So you can show your love for Star Wars. Hashtag I love Star Wars. Poindexter Lounge. Go get those. They're cheap too. Or just regular logo too. You can always get that. All right. So speaking of Star Wars and cool people with lightsaber updates and all that good stuff. What's up, Melissa?
Which is what? Oh, hi. Sorry, I was listening to voice view on my tablet.
Yeah. How you doing?
Pretty good. I have a new update. I talked with Scarecrow earlier in the day. If you know Scarecrow's workshop, he's a sabersmith. For any of you who don't know, they're doing a charity saber for me. If you guys remember from the last episode, where he and I basically taught saber gibberish and
oh yeah,
and
we talked saber for sure.
And you know who, with a K.
Yeah.
Kanan. I have a new saber update. I don't have it just yet, but what the good news is, Scarecrow has next to nearly everything now. He just has to get like chassis parts. And that's gonna hold like the battery and the soundboard and all of that inside in place. So it's not like
yeah. You don't want your batteries rattling around. I in your lightsaber for sure. It's funny you mentioned this, Melissa, because I literally came upon, and I don't know if you ever saw this or remember this, but it was like an early to mid '90s. There was a commercial for Energizer batteries where the Energizer bunny showed up on Bespin and goes up against Darth Vader. And so he's taking on Darth Vader, and Darth Vader pulls out his lightsaber and is like swinging it at the Energizer bunny, and he keeps missing and stuff. But then Darth Vader's lightsaber cuts out, and he opens up the bottom of it, and the batteries are like some off brand of batteries instead of being Energizers. And Darth Vader's like yelling and screaming about it, and he's like super upset. It's a funny
I
bit.
didn't see that as a kid. Plus, when I was a kid, I didn't know about Star Wars at the time.
Okay.
But now that I discovered Star Wars late last year.
Oh, really? So you're kind of
Yeah.
new to the whole Star Wars thing, and you're already like collecting lightsabers and everything else, huh?
Yeah. I'm just gonna have to figure out where the heck to plug it in. My dad is gonna offer an extension cord so I can hang my saber to the wall and plug it in. I'll make sure when I get it to come on and show you guys. Do you mind if I share my screen and show a preview of what it looks like?
Yeah, let me see if I can so I'm trying to learn how to do all that. So yeah, if you want to share your screen, I think if you share your screen, then I can see it, and then I can put that up. While you're doing that, Silent Scotty makes a really good point, and I think about this too, Silent Scotty. I think about this as a musician a lot, and he says, wish. Let's see, I don't see it. So I don't see.
I'm trying to.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to see on my end. I don't know if I have it set up here. Oh, guess see viewer comments, play a sound. Guess. I don't have it where you can't. So I don't know. I'm not seeing it.
That's weird.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But Silent Scotty says, I wish I could have the perspective where everything Star Wars is brand new. And I know that's that must be a really cool thing. I think about that often as a musician, because sometimes as a musician, it's like you hear music, you understand how it is, because I've been playing for 30 years or so, and so it's like when you spend that much time into music, it's like you hear music, you understand it, you understand how it is. Oh yeah, I see it. I'm going to add it to the stream here. There we go.
That's my saber. It's basically, sorry for the craziness, but I'm using a magnifier.
No, that's fine. That's fine. No, we understand. That's fine. That's really cool.
That's basically my whole saber.
That is so cool.
And if I ever need to navigate, do you know the Robo Armory? This is them right here. Feel free to check them out, guys. They're a pretty nice charitable. They do a lot of stuff for charity, including this. I'm a lot of charity sabers next to mine. Yeah.
Okay.
They're basically helping a lot of people with disabilities.
Oh, well, that's awesome.
Not just legal blindness. Yeah. And there's another picture of it turned around. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know how well your eyes are. Mine are on the poor side.
Yeah. No, I can see it really well.
But if I zoom in,
I like the etching on there. That's cool.
Because I can't, Yeah. Oh, the thing right, you know,
Yeah. Wow,
here.
that's really cool, Melissa. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, I was talking to him. Yes, not this morning, but I talked to. Do you know Scarecrow? Scarecrow's
I
workshop.
I
This is his
don't know
post
him.
right here.
Yeah, that's what you were saying. Well, that's cool.
And this is what he said. I can't read it. I don't know if you can read this. But that's what he said.
Trying to come into focus here.
Go ahead. Were you gonna say something?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you. So, what color is your saber?
The blade or the hilt?
The blade.
The blade. It could be a multitude of colors. I'm gonna be able to
nice.
switch the colors around with a certain mode.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And I also want to show you
okay.
something.
Sure.
When I'm on my laptop, I cannot read this right now, but I can turn on what's called narrator. Listen closely. And I don't know if you heard that.
Nope, I couldn't hear it. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't think the sound comes through. Yeah, because I can't turn. I got the sound on, but it's not coming through. So on the share.
Yeah, but basically you will see a white bar. You'll see it. See that little. I'm using hotkeys,
Okay.
which is caps lock and right key.
That's cool that you can do that, Melissa. That's cool. That's cool that they have that available for you to be able to do that. You know, given the problems that you have with your vision, that's pretty neat. That I you know what I gotta tell you, Melissa. I always respect people who, you know, even though, you know, you may have some disabilities or whatever. I went to your channel because I told you I subscribed to it, and so the other day I went to your channel and I watched some of your videos and stuff, and I gotta say, you know, Melissa, I am always impressed when I see people who may have some disabilities and may have had some challenges in their life, you know, and things that maybe other people haven't, you know, gone through, but they keep fighting, and they keep going, and they don't let it affect them, you know, as far as their ability to love things and to experience things, and I think it's awesome that you're you know, discovering Star Wars here recently, and you're loving it and experiencing. Yeah, I mean,
legal blindness.
Yeah, even with your even with the complications you may have with your vision, that you can still love it and experience it, and you know, now even have your own lightsaber, right? Because that's a true testament to being a Jedi. You got to have your own lightsaber.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
But that's basically what I got. Just thought I'd share that with you guys right quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
My tablet has. My mom calls it VoiceOver, and my mom confuses this for an iPad because it looks iPad-y.
Okay.
It looks iPad-y, but it's an Amazon Fire HD10.
Oh, that's cool.
And what I have is something called Voice View Screen Reader. And I'm reading the comments on your episode right now with this.
Okay.
I think after the Scooby-Doo Zombie Island movie, they've been aged up to Devontae Barb. I think after the Scooby-Doo Zombie Island movie, they've been aged up to adults.
Okay. So that's Devontae's comment right here, because he made the comment, phobic, I think, that after Scooby-Doo Zombie Island movie, they aged up to adults. Yeah.
Yeah, Devontae, I read your comment, and now he did too.
Well, that's awesome.
I read it with my ears, and I bet you read it, and I bet Poindexter Lounge read it with his eyes.
Yep. Yep, I put it up on the screen here so that people could see it. But that's cool though that you're able to participate and still be like active. You know, that's awesome.
Yeah, I just read in a much different way than say you guys do.
Mm-hmm.
And about my saber, I talked to Scarecrow today, Scarecrow's workshop. He's a sabersmith, for any of you who don't know. A sabersmith is anybody who makes lightsabers and, you know, yeah, think of a swordsmith and bring it over to lightsabers and you get sabersmith. Saber Smith.
Yep.
Yeah. It's basically like the same thing with swords, only difference is it's sabers. Only difference is these blades are not gonna cut you.
Yeah, you got to be careful. You got to be careful. Lightsabers go through anything, just about. Well, hey, Melissa, it was so good. It's good talking to you. I really appreciate you coming on and sharing that stuff with us and sharing with us how you participate in these videos and are able to be in the chat and stuff. I think it makes all of us appreciate even more now when you leave a comment and you say something in the comment section or whatever, that like we can appreciate how you're doing it differently than we would just by typing it.
That's cool. Graphic.
I type like this.
Say something.
I got the keyboard up here and I use a 2-finger double tap and listen closely.
Say something.
That's dictation.
Gotcha.
Like, say I'm gonna reply to somebody here. Yeah, I kind of agree.
Something.
And I navigate for it.
Melissa's world. Yeah, icon of a green blank. Edit is editing.
And I feel until I hear a send button.
/200. Send.
Like that. It's pretty easy. Even though you know, even though I'm wearing glasses, it doesn't mean anything. My glasses only help me so much. Things are still blurry far away. Like I'm sitting normal with my back straight, not hunched over, and I cannot see the details of your face too well.
Gotcha.
Unless I
can I get really close? Does that help? Does that help a little bit?
Welcome to the world of the legally blind. That's how close I get. That's how close I get. And I kind of see your beard and whatever that is, eyebrows.
Yep, my eyebrows. I got kind of thin eyebrows, but yeah, I got some scruff.
I see the shapes of half circle, headphones maybe.
Oh, yep, those are my headphones. Yep. Here. Here. We'll do this, and then we'll go to the next caller. Can you see that?
A little bit, just the colors and shapes.
That's a little Batman guy that I got.
Oh. Yeah. So just to sum it all up, I still do what you guys do, just a little differently.
Sure. Well, I tell you what.
And the same is going to be true with my lightsaber. You guys may look at the saber details while I'm over here feeling my hilt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you're experiencing it in a completely different way than we would, and so that's cool. In fact, you know, we should probably all be able to stop and maybe take the time to really appreciate, you know, the different ways that we can take in information, you know, through touch and through smell and through, you know, feeling and even, you know, when we can see, to be able to really look at things and really take in the beauty all around us, not take it for granted, for sure. Yeah. Gaga here, I was going to share with you a couple of his comments, and then I gotta get on to the next person because I got some people waiting. But Gaga says he's a big advocate for your talents, Melissa. He says he's going to check out your videos, and then he also said, Yep. And then he also says that he says, Melissa, at Melissa's World, he says, I teach music to people who are considered to have intellectual disabilities for my day job.
Oh, that's
So-
nice that you do that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So there's a lot of good people around here. And
Oh,
and I love having you on, Melissa. I'm so glad that you found the
I
channel.
teach people who are considered to have intellectual disabilities for my day job.
oh, good Ganga, you're so sweet.
There you go. There you go. And so I can see him. I can see him in my little broadcast thing. I can see him, and he's smiling. He's smiling. Here, I'm gonna bring him in just for a second, and I'm gonna send him so you can say hi to him. What's up,
Hey, man.
Gaga?
Hey,
Hi.
hey man.
Hey, Ganga.
My day job, I teach digital music to people who are considered to have intellectual disabilities. That's my 9-to-5 job. But yeah, just that's a thing.
Do you know that I'm legally blind?
I do now, and I overheard before. I was doing a bit of the dishes before, and I overheard you saying that. But yeah, no, keep up the good work, man. Definitely, in my experience of I've been working in disability for about 5 years now. Definitely within my experience, it's I'm a bit of a muso myself, and it's definitely helped me look at things in different ways.
I love music. Hannah Montana's my jam.
It's a really good connection between all humans, I think, and it's actually having seen Poindexter Lounge's Enosh's video yesterday. I just caught a little bit of it, and haven't heard a lot of Christian music, but I've been to some of my best mate is Christian, and he invites me to his church. I go to his church once a year, just on Easter or Good Friday. And music is the biggest part of the reason. Like before, I was like, "Oh, I'm not really into it," and then hearing the music was one of the ways that I was able to connect with that. So, music is a powerful thing, and yeah, music is a powerful tool, and it having worked with people who are considered to have disabilities, it's helped me open my mind to different ways of music writing. But anyway, I'll let you guys get back to your conversation.
Hey, thanks for coming in, man.
Thanks for checking out my channel. Glad you like it.
I haven't checked it out yet, but I will check it out.
Oh, okay. Right. The name should be on the little thingy at the bottom if you see it.
Yes, I do. Yep, I will. Cool. You get on to your next.
All right. All right. We'll see you later, Gungaga. All right.
He's an awesome dude.
Yeah, he is a good guy. He's from Australia, so it's good.
I don't know if you also know, just really quick.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't have periphery.
Okay.
You know, I have tunnel vision in this eye.
Okay.
The left eye doesn't count, though it's blind. But this eye is 2200 with tunnel vision.
Okay. Well, you know what? You're inspiring, Melissa. And I think it's awesome that you're on a platform like YouTube, which a lot of people would probably consider a visual platform, right? You know
been on since 2012.
Well, that's awesome. I think it's great that you're on what people would consider a visual medium, but you're doing what you can. Yeah.
There's some blind YouTubers too. I met.
Yeah, and I think that's awesome. I think that's absolutely fabulous.
You can be blind, legally blind, and still use. You can even be blind or legally. And if you're legally blind like me, find a way to still use YouTube. Don't be afraid. Turn on your screen reader. Turn on your magnifier. Don't be afraid.
Absolutely.
Because here's YouTube. Here's how I navigate YouTube.
More options. Button. Heading. Play. K. Button. Skip YouTube video player. Settings. Motor player. I. Theater mode. Full screen. F. Button.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, hey, Melissa. Thank you so much for coming on. We love you. We're proud of you. And I look forward to talking to you again, okay?
You too.
All right. We'll talk to you later.
May the force be with you guys.
May the force be with you as well, Melissa. All right. We love you. All right. We'll talk to you later.
You.
All right.
Talk
bye-bye.
to you later.
That's Melissa from Melissa's World. Guys, if you get a chance, go ahead and click on her link. She's got about 400 or more subscribers And she does all kinds of different videos. She does some tech videos. She does some really cool stuff. So go over and say hi to her and show her some love for sure. All right. Now we got the man, the myth, the legend, the Dragon Slayer, the guy that I don't know. I ran out.
Now you're just talking me up without any real payoff. You're teasing the audience with a lot of hyperbole and nonsense. Like I'm not that great of a man.
The wrong guy. I'm sorry, I brought in the wrong guy.
Bring in the guy who teaches digital music to people with disabilities. I'm an idiot who talks about pop culture. All right, bring in the real hero. I'm just a moron. Let's go. Let's just do that. I think that'd be fine, probably.
Well, or we could bring in the real hero.
Oh
right
yes, yes. Brie Larson is the real hero. You guys don't know this, but I have a full body Brie Larson Captain Marvel tattoo on my inner thigh to remind me to be a better feminist.
Oh well,
yeah. Because I look down at it and I'm like, you're right, Brie. I can be better.
We can all be better.
Yeah, but it's got to be only Captain Marvel. If it's that horrible movie Unicorn Store, I'm out. I'm done. Not going to do it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Oh, man. So how you doing? How was your week?
Not too. I mean, well, a lot of I angered a bunch of people this weekend, which is really funny because it's not the people you might think. I mean, I've angered them too. This last week, I've angered a lot of people on that front. But no. So I do a true crime podcast, and I like true crime quite a bit. I've always been interested, always been fascinated. And a couple of days ago, I don't know if you heard about this whole Wayfair child trafficking scandal thing.
I saw the name, but I did not see like what it was.
So I'll fill you in real quick, right? So this woman on Reddit, an anonymous person on Reddit, because that's how it be.
Yes.
She goes on there the other night and she posts images of these cabinets that are like really expensive, like these industrial grade cabinets from Wayfair that are like $16,000. And she's like, "Is it just me or like are they into child trafficking?" Because that's the conclusion you come to.
What?
Yeah. So she went on there. So she asked the question. I mean, it was more accusatory in my opinion, but whatever.
Because somebody posted.
No, because she had come across like these units, these shelf cabinets that were selling for like $16,000, and a lot of people out there, you wouldn't look at a cabinet or a shelving unit and go, "Oh, 16,000 seems normal," right?
Yeah,
like you wouldn't, but industrial grade.
Oh, okay. I get what. Okay.
Yeah, like industrial.
I'm sorry. It's like 2 a.m. where I'm at, and I was like having a moment where I was like, "What is the correlation between cabinets and a ring of okay." I get
so
what you're saying.
well,
like
so
a front.
Yes,
okay.
That's what I'm saying. So it's always like a front.
Gotcha.
But here's where the nonsense comes into play, and it's a lot of nonsense. They put names with it, right? They put like, I think one of them was like Kamiya, and another one was like, or Kyla was one, and Samiya was another. And so some person on Twitter had seen the thread on Reddit and then started like Googling missing persons names with like the Kyla and Samiya and coming up with like actual missing persons. So in her infinite wisdom, she decided to put this out there and basically make the connection that Wayfair is kidnapping people and engaged in trafficking, or at least a third party is, and they're naming this furniture and these cabinets and this shelving as a way to identify who exactly it is, like it's a like a catalog.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, this blew up amongst QAnon. QAnon is the really, 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 really hardcore conspiracy theorist wing of the Donald Trump fan base.
Okay.
And I mean, like, they've accused Tom Hanks of all sorts of nasty stuff.
I think I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. The guy who came out, like, he was a Thor. He had like a bit part in Thor, like some like burnout actor came out and is like, became this QAnon star. His name's like Isaac Cappy. And then 2 years ago, he took his own life. Which then people like, he knew too much. They threw him off a bridge. And they're even now this weekend trying to like bring it up again. So I did this video where I don't know, took a pragmatic, common sense approach to like trying to figure out like the answer to these questions. And it's not that difficult to figure it out. You know, like I looked up industrial stuff over on Amazon and other places, and I found like, yeah, it's expensive stuff. And then, you know, like even like just a whole bunch, like even how furniture is named, right?
Sure. Yeah.
And it's like, again, just this is the stuff none of these guys are talking about. And then I did this like 23-minute video, which I'm very happy is like over almost 12,000 views in just over a day. I'm very happy with that. No money because it's like limited ads because of the subject material. Thanks, YouTube.
Sure. Yeah, because you can't have a realistic adult conversation.
Yeah,
about
because they're so afraid of everything. But
I always wonder what I'm saying. Like anytime I post a video and I see that little yellow dollar sign or like whatever, I'm like, what the heck did I say now? Like
in many cases, it's really ridiculous in many cases. On that particular channel, though, like most things are like that.
Yeah,
because I cover true crime.
Sure.
So it's like, but then weird videos like get monetized. Like I covered the story the other day of like the Dutch police uncovering a torture chamber, and like basically part of like this weird like illegal drug trade that they had like prison cells in a torture chamber like set up. You know,
gosh.
And it was like, and that monetized.
Yeah, sure. Well, I'm sure the commercial that pops up was like SpongeBob on ice.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, do you want to watch Stargirl?
Right.
Get strapped in. And so, I mean, like, literally, there was a dental chair that they used as like, that's what they had used for that they had set up in this Mylar soundproof room for the torturing and everything.
Oh my gosh.
But on the bright side, apparently, like, the police caught them before they had a chance to use it. So that's good. You know, that's good. It's still pristine, sanitized. It's all sanitized. It's all good for COVID. You're fine. Ship it up. Yeah. It's so, I mean, but like, this is the kind of stuff I've been diving into. Even tonight, it's what I've been doing. I should be playing video games or like watching documentaries or movies, but instead I'm all like, how did this person die? And because that's where part of my brain goes, is like the figuring out process. I like to understand these stories and understand the motivations of these people, and it always intrigued me. So anyway, so yeah, these QAnon folks have been commenting on the video, and what's hysterical about it is that so many of them are saying like, this guy's paid off, man. Like, how much is Wayfair paying you? Oh my gosh. Have you bought children before? Because I said in the video, I'm like, look, rich people will spend money on dumb things, right? And it's like a couple years ago, when my daughter was born, I had so much trouble sleeping. I don't know why. I couldn't sleep a good night's sleep. And I needed to get comfortable. I just couldn't do it. So I went out and I bought like a $7,000 bed. I have a Tempur-Pedic, memory foam, all the stuff, right? It's a very nice bed. I love my bed. But I'm like, look, I dropped $7,000 on this bed. I probably shouldn't have done it in retrospect, but you know what? I get a good night's sleep.
I have my priorities straight. I drop money on my toys. Like I'm sleeping on literally like some box springs on the floor.
Yeah. Yeah, like that's I mean, it's the memory foam. The vibrating bed part is just comfortable. I don't care.
I've got a vibrating bed.
Yeah.
So people used to laugh at me, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but so like people made fun of me like about 10 years ago because I bought like an adjustable bed, and it vibrates, and I absolutely love the thing. And people are like, "You're an old man, you got an adjustable bed." I'm like, you know what? When I get in that bed at night and I prop up my head and I put my feet up and I put that vibrate on, I don't care how old you say I am. It's a thing of absolute heaven, and I'm vibrated into a wonderful dream state of bliss. And so my dog doesn't like it though. He's starting to come around. I'm sorry, I totally went off on a tangent, but my dog. I got two dogs. I got Wookie and Harley Quinn, and Wookie's the oldest. He's like 2 years old, and he has always hated the vibrating bed. Always hated the vibrating bed. Like when we put it on, doesn't matter what level, he jumps off, and he loves sleeping in bed with us, but he'll jump off. So this week I bought my wife like one of those. Have you seen those like impact gun massagers?
No, I haven't.
So like there's these things, like there's like some really like high pressure one like for athletes and stuff for like after you work out and everything, and they're supposed to be like really high pressure, and they're built like a gun. and I got it in the other room, but they're built like a gun. They've got like all these different adapters. There's a couple adapters that I'll be honest with you are a little.
Yeah, I'm looking at it on Amazon right now. My first thought was, dude.
Yeah, there's a couple adapters that I'm like, really?
This gets right in there, and it just pumps it out, you know.
Yeah.
Let me see some of these adapters though. Where do I find these adapters?
So the thing is, so I bought one of these things. I got it at like Ollie's, right? Which is like and I don't know if they have that where you're at, but like Ollie's is just like a resell thing. Like they buy stuff super cheap from all the big name stores and they sell it, super cheap. So I got this thing. It's like usually like $120, whatever. I got it for like $60. And so I brought it home and I'm doing this. And so like I'm massaging my neck because I've got neck problems. And so I'm doing that and I'm loving this thing. And my dog's looking at me like, what the heck are you doing? Like that thing's making noise. I don't like that thing. And so I put it on the lowest setting and he loves a good booty rub. I mean, who doesn't like a good booty rub, to be quite honest with you? I mean,
sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I show him and I'm like, hey, Wookie, look, and I'm showing him that I'm enjoying the vibration, like on my neck and stuff. And then like I went over and like I put it on his hip and he just looked at me like, oh my God, where has this been my entire life? And all of a sudden he's got this thing. He likes the inner part of his, I know it sounds weird, but he likes the inner part of his leg, like scratched. And so like I got this vibrator thing on it was so weird. I'm like massaging my dog's hip and all of a sudden the leg just goes up. And I'm like, no, that's not what this is for, buddy. No. Not gonna do it. But yeah. So my dog is like coming around to the world of vibration and massage.
That's good. Just want to point out though, if a little red rocket appears, you're doing it too much and you need to stop.
Yeah.
Just saying, we could go too far on this one. My cats, I have cats, I don't have dogs. My cats, they don't mind it. The two that sleep with me, they don't necessarily mind the vibrate. Mm-hmm. One of them more than the other. But what happens is when I go to bed, like my cat, I have one cat. She's like, we rescued 3 feral kittens back in 2012, and so we only have 2 of them. Unfortunately, it's been a year since one of them just kind of up and vanished. We think coyotes got her, which is unfortunate. But we have the other 2, and they're both. One of them is like way more comfortable than the other one, but still they're feral. You're never going to get rid of that, right?
Yeah.
So Gus is the name of the one that's more, I guess you could say, housebroken, or trained, or what's the word? Domesticated.
Yes.
And so anyway, when I go to bed, I turn on I have like a sound machine I turn on, and then I have like the sleep. I have a 0G setting on my bed that puts me in this like the astronaut setting. Which is so
I have
great.
that too. That's my favorite setting. Dude.
Yeah, it's so great. And so I do that when I go to bed, and then I'll get comfortable, and then all of a sudden like Gus will just jump on the bed, and then she comes over to my left arm and she cuddles up on my left arm, like by my armpit, and then she just like falls asleep. And then I have my older male cat Chance, who's usually like, he's even in the room with me right now, but he'll come lay down with me in bed. He takes up space on my right arm. So I lay back and I've got like 2 cats that are just like, during the summer kind of sucks because it's warm, but they just purr up a storm. So I'm laying there. I don't even need to turn the vibrating bed on. I just lay there and I just get this kitty massage the whole night. Nice. So that's pretty cool. But anyway, yeah. So back to this whole, Wayfair child sex trafficking scandal thing.
Yes.
It's all nonsense, but these people are just insane. And so I've been dealing with them on the YouTubes, which is pretty funny. But on a bright side, part of my 2020, like back half of 2020 goals, is I want to move away from YouTube as being like my primary source of income, or at least a considerable source of my income, because it's so volatile right now. It's more volatile now than it was at the beginning of the first adpocalypse. We've had like 4 of them, but like the first adpocalypse back in 2017, this now is just wild. Because they're doing everything they can to try to ease the pain for YouTubers, but they can't force advertisers to come on in, right? So so like YouTube now is doing this thing called RPM. They have a new metric, so it's like usually you would look at like your CPM, which is your cost per like 1,000 views, basically, like which is what advertisers would pay out. Now you can look at your RPM, which is your revenue view, 1,000 views, which shows you specifically like which videos do well for you. So if you're looking for content to double down on, You can go and find this metric now, and it will tell you that, which is both good and bad in my opinion, because it's going to be good because it gives you an idea of what your audience is into. It's going to be bad because it can be exploited. And but that's YouTube in a nutshell. So I wanted to do podcasting, and I just prefer talking than I prefer being on camera. I really don't like being on camera. I've
noticed that about you lately. That you do more of these videos that
I do the live streams. Yeah, I'll do the live streams off camera. Like there's no point. Like I'll be on sometimes, you know what I mean? And it's like during the day, I'll probably in the afternoon, I'll do a live stream on 3 Buck Theater.
This is the money maker, baby. This is hey.
I mean, you can do a whole bunch of stuff with it. Like, I don't mind. It's not that I don't mind being on camera. It's just that I don't always want to be on camera. I just sometimes want to sit back and talk, right? Right now I'm in my room. I just have the glow of my monitors are on. It's nice. It's quiet. It's chill. I don't have to is my hat on straight or is the camera,
No,
I don't focus on none of that stuff.
I get
that's me personally, but I've been looking into ways to how to grow a different audience, because I kind of have to after the last couple of years, not on 3 Buck Theater, but on the other channel. And so I'm like, okay, true crime is something I'm interested in. There's a big audience for that on YouTube. Predominantly, it's all female, which is true. Oh my God, you have no idea. So I'm like, okay, how do I make this work to my advantage? And so I've been building up a Facebook group, and we've only been up for a week, but I got 75 people. All right, that ain't bad. But the thing is so many people are interested in true crime, especially on Facebook. You can use it to build up your own audience of people. And then you use Facebook groups and everyone gets the notification, right? So it's YouTube is terrible at notifying. I got notifications today from a video from 4 days ago.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why are you sending this to me now?
I've noticed that a lot lately where they seem to be really behind, and all of a sudden I noticed that in my For You page or whatever, that it's where it, suggests videos to me. It's all of a sudden filled with videos from the last 4 years. They're all these old weird videos instead of being up to date videos that I'm used to getting, of stuff that I would actually watch. Tons of it is stuff I've already seen, and it's all 1, 2, 3, 4 years old.
Well, there's actually a reason for that too. Recently, and YouTube did this thing where they were going to start recommending videos that were 2 months to 4 years old, I think 2 months to 7 years or something like that, as a way to kind of give your back catalog a bit of a boost. And I understand that. But if you are a news or entertainment commentator, your commentary is generally about what is happening right now. A person is not going to sit there and want to go back and look at something that's 7 years old. If you go and hey guys, what came out in 2013? Did you see Man of Steel? Okay, maybe that's a wrong example right now. That might actually get some play. Did you watch Pacific Rim? How did you feel about The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, which in my opinion was the best film of 2013.
That was a good movie.
It was a great film. I love that movie. The message was fantastic, and I thought Ben Stiller's an amazing director who never gets any play. He never gets the love he deserves. Really, he never does, but he's great. But I mean, really, so it's YouTube's terrible at all this stuff. And I'm like, you know what, man? So I've been doing all this research the last couple of days and how to build up these groups and how to do all this stuff. And you can if you can get it going pretty well, you can actually turn that into just the best moneymaker of your life, because it gives you this direct connection to the audience. And I'm trying to build it up. I'm trying to build it up to where there's engagement and stuff. So it's I've been in some other true crime groups, which are very, very fascinating if you follow any of that stuff, because for one, don't talk about QAnon. Trust me. I got into it tonight, the guy about Pizzagate, and he's all trying to tell me that it's real, and I'm like, there's no evidence of it, and blah blah blah. And he's like, this is the thing with these people. Every time you back them into a corner, every single time they move the goalpost. Right. And it's every single time they do this. And it's funny because it's just admit, you can't admit you're wrong. You're so wrapped up in this identity that, that there are bad people out there. No one's arguing that there's not bad people out there, but it's there's situations where you could, I don't know, spend more of your time Like maybe raise a family. Oh no, don't do that. Don't no. We don't need more of that nonsense in the world. But really it's just like, so this is where I've been at, because I think it's not that I think entertainment is dead. It's not. I want to get into doing more reviews. I don't have the time.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm gonna, when I'm done talking to you, I'm probably gonna go sit in my bedroom. I'm gonna bring up HBO Max on my PS4 because I can't turn on other TV.
Right.
And I'm gonna watch the new episode of I'll Be Gone in the Dark, which is the true crime docu-series about the Golden State Killer, which is really fascinating. And then depending on how long that is, if I'm still up, I might go watch another episode of Unsolved Mysteries, because this is how I wind down.
Sure.
You're
committed to the craft. You're committed to the craft.
It really is. It really is. Like, I mean, I'll tell you this, like I have Sirius XM radio because it came with my car and I just kind of forgot to cancel it. And so like I listen to I like listening to the news. I listen to a lot of MSNBC because it's like the one I can stomach. And but then like that's one channel, and the channel before it is HLN. And HLN is just it's pretty much like tabloid, right?
Yeah.
But on their Sirius channel at nighttime, they play episodes of Forensic Files. So like a couple
that
years
seems to be really that stuff is like really gaining this popularity all of a sudden. Like there's this lady, I don't even know how I got subscribed to her. I think it was because it was like some kind of networking thing that I was a part of or whatever, and I ended up subscribed to her on here. And like literally she's got this 5-hour stream. I think she lives in New York or whatever, and she's just this lady, like she literally half of her live stream is her looking like this, like at her keyboard, and she's like, Sarah, I don't understand. What are you talking about? No, where did you go? Who were you around? Well, why would they do that? And it's like 5 hours of that, right? And then all of a sudden, like, because I saw this video and I'm like, why am I subscribed to this lady's channel? I don't even know this lady. And she's like in my subscriptions, and so I'm like kind of thumbing through the video, I'm like dragging the little cursor across just to see like what's there. And so like about like 2 hours into this, all of a sudden this whole panel of women come up, like a bunch of Karen looking women. Like this is all like all older women, and they all come up, and there's like 6 of them, and they're like, they got a little header down there, and they're like true crime stories. And they literally go on for like 2 hours more, like talking about true crime stuff. And then they stop that. And then she like does another hour and a half of the Amber Heard trial stuff. And it's like it's not like she's set up to like like do anything. She's not set up like this. It's literally just like a shot from her phone or whatever, and she's just like, you could see she's looking at the screen, like, and she's talking to people who are leaving comments, and she's just like, well, where did you go, hon? I like that farmer's market too. Is that the one over on Sarasota Street? Oh, yep. I like that one. And I'm like, okay, this is I subscribe to this somehow.
It can happen. Yeah. Like I've noticed that where like I've been subscribed to some weird channels. I'm like, when did I do this? But
I don't drink. So like, it wasn't a drunken thing. Like, I don't know.
There's a lot. YouTube is very weird for that one. I came across one in this group the other day where someone just randomly like links to a YouTube video, and I click on it, and it's all like this woman, and she's just reading off all of these names. She's all like, Barack Obama has been executed. Michelle Obama has been arrested and put in Gitmo. Mike Pence has been executed. What you're seeing is Mike Pence's clone. And then she stops and she goes, don't believe me? Look this stuff up. It's real. And
that's
I'm like,
the answer to everything. Do your research.
Yeah, well, that's what I've been doing with these people that have been fighting me on this. I'm all like, where's your evidence? Where's like, give me counter evidence? And they're just like, crickets, man.
Oh man, I've got a cousin. He's a cousin by marriage, and oh my gosh, dude. So everybody
I have to justify that.
Look, everybody on the channel knows that for what I do for a living. And even today I posted, Gungaga mentioned it. Like I was at church and I'm getting ready to start our music set. And I was like, you know what? Just randomly, I'm just going to throw up our music set, like not because I'm trying to convert the world or anything, but just because I was just like, hey, I'm going to share some music with people. Right. And so it's like three songs, whatever. And it was okay. But because I was waiting for the backlash against that. It's like, I don't come to this channel for, that's and like, that's not my point at all. My point was just to put out some music. This is what I do, right? And my channel. But the funny thing is like, I just know so many people that drive me up the wall with this whole, like, everything's a conspiracy theory. Everything is, like the far left is taking over the world. Like, and so like this, and look, I consider myself more of a moderate. I definitely lean conservative. I'll be honest with you about that. I lean conservative. I have more conservative values probably than a lot of people. But I have friends from every background. Like I don't have a problem with people. You're not going to see me getting into fights. And I absolutely hate what you're talking about, like just this made up stuff. And I've got a ton of friends who post all this stuff of like still yet like trying to post like, Barack Obama was born in Kenya. You can't tell me any different. It's like, what year is this? Like, what are we talking about here? Like, why is this even relevant? But I've got this one, like I said, he's a cousin by marriage. And like, he posts like all this nonsensical made up conspiracy theory, like just so far out there stuff. And I'm just like I asked him a question about it. Like, because I tried to, I'm not into battling with anybody, man. It's like, I don't have time. I don't do that on Facebook and all that stuff, like if I got something to say, like I've made a couple of videos here, but you don't see me like putting out content, left and right. That's just trying to attack everybody and do all that. That's just not my thing. And so I don't do it on Facebook either. And I don't get political on Facebook, but literally I saw this. And the crazy thing is like, I have a problem because it's really bad when you actually kind of have similar political like ideals, but like you see these people have taken them, just like, for lack of a better term, bastardize them and like taking them to a completely different spectrum of reality than what you're living in, where it's like, hey, yes, I have these ideals, but like, I don't expect everybody else to have the same ideals that I have or to live by the same, creed as I do, but like these people are just like, they're going to beat people over the head with it. They're going to, and they just go on about these crazy made up things. And it's just like, I just asked him some questions and I said, where did you get that information from? And he's just like, well, you got to do your research, Enosh. You got to wake up, man. Like, you got to wake up and realize that this stuff is happening and stuff. And I'm just like, okay. Well, I love you. All right.
I had a moment like that today. I don't feel bad, but I feel bad because I've never done this in public before. And so I was at the Dollar Tree picking up some balloon like inflators, right? And I'm walking around trying to find them, and there's people in line. There's like this younger guy, this older woman, and an employee. And the employee has a mask on. The younger guy and the older woman don't have masks on. Mm-hmm. And everyone else has masks on, right? And it's like, how hard is just wear a mask at this point? Just do it. And so, but they're talking very loudly, very abrasively about masks. It's crap. It's BS. It's nonsense. It doesn't do anything. And the guy's like, the time for masks was 6 weeks ago. It's done with now. We don't need it. And I heard the woman just go, like, I only wear them when I'm forced to. Otherwise, I don't care. And for some reason, something about that really triggered me. I looked at and the employee's like, I only wear it because they make us. Right. Mm-hmm. And I just looked at all three of them. I went, a friend of mine died last week because he thought the exact same thing. And it's true, he did. Well, like 2 weeks ago, but like whatever. Yeah, it's true. My friend Marlon passed away because he believed the exact same thing, and he went and he caught it. And then the lady just goes like, the older lady goes like, well, if it's my time, it's my time. And I'm like, yeah, he thought the same thing too. But he left behind kids and grandkids. And she's like, well, I got a bunch of grandkids. And so at this point, I was walking away. I was already kind of pissed off. And she was like, well, I got a bunch of grandkids too. And I just turned around and went like, well, I wish you luck. And I kind of went like, I walked around the corner and I went like, did I just have a Karen moment?
Ah, yes.
But I don't feel bad about it. I don't feel bad about it because
now Melissa in the chat, she asked what a Karen was. So a Karen, Melissa, basically is anybody, like, it's that lady who goes up and has to complain to the manager constantly and just has a problem with every possible thing that she sees. And Matt, I don't know if you're seeing this in the chat, but I talking about conspiracy theories. I feel like we were taken over because I don't know if you saw this. Like as soon as Oz Newton joined, like it's like we got Hail Hydra, Melissa's World responds, Hail Hydra, Cylon Scotty responds, Hail Hydra, Oz comes back with fellow Hydra members, and then Melissa says, I still like Hydra even though it's been a while. Oz says, I still work for Hydra. And I'm like, well, what? And then Melissa's World says, that's nice. Does Hydra have stuff to help the blinded on ES? And then
I'm sure they do.
Yes,
I'm sure they do.
And then says, does Hydra have accessibility for the blinded? It says Hydra doesn't tell me anything. My job is to mop floors. But and then Oz says, but they do have that. And then Melissa says, I tried to make Hydra Tech more client friendly sometimes by teaching accessibility. And then in Human Quake, who's waiting, he's right after you, Matt. He says, Hail Hydra. And then like Hydra needs a new leader, so vote for me. And then it's just like Hail Hydra, Hail Hydra. Yeah, like. And then finally, then Melissa did say my mom would tend to watch Forensic Files from time to time.
Yeah, it's a good show. Forensic Files is a very good show.
Like, what in the world is going on here? Like, Hydra is taking over the chat.
There's a lot of craziness. Yeah, I will say this though. I mean, it might I can acknowledge that it was maybe a Karen moment, but like just the crassness of how they were discussing it.
Sure,
like it triggered me, and I just said something. And I used to be very confrontational on my old job because I had to be, and I'm generally not a confrontational person. It's not just whatever, but like, when I'm hearing about like cases are up, like 15,000 new cases yesterday or something like that. We're seeing this massive spike and it's just like people are still just not taking it seriously. It's like you're not going to take it seriously until it's the end. But there's that. I don't want to drag the thing down with this. I did see Inhuman says he wanted to be on with me at the same time for a minute.
Okay. Yeah.
And we could do that. And then I'll take off because I don't want to take over. I'm a talker.
Sure. Let's bring in for the first time new caller. I feel like I'm doing like this with this whole thing. I feel like I'm doing like the the overnight show. So welcome to the show, Inhuman Quake. What's going on, man?
Hello. Can you hear me?
I can.
Yeah.
How are you guys?
You're on with Enoch from the Poindexter Lounge and Matt Jarbo from 3 Theater.
I'm glad I can finally talk to you, Matt.
Yeah, man. I see you pop up all the time. So thank you very much for hanging out in the streams.
You're welcome. I finally decided to make a YouTube channel.
Good, man. Good. We need more people. We just need more people. That's all it is.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I just want to show my support and everything to Enoch and Matt.
Well,
awesome.
Well, thanks, man. I know I appreciate that. And I know
Yeah,
Matt
me
does
too.
as well.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So well, let me ask you this, Inhuman. What's on your mind? What are you thinking about? Like, what do you want to talk about on YouTube?
Like comic stuff. Star Wars and DC.
Nice. And you're excited for the Snyder Cut, I take it.
Of course.
Yeah, you gotta be.
Happen. I have like 2 Twitter accounts that follow the stuff.
Yeah, Twitter's a bit of a dumpster fire, though, if you go to the wrong places. Especially with any fandom. It gets pretty bad.
I know. I just think like the new stuff is like that.
Yeah, so now have you made any videos yet, or are you still in the process of trying to get that started?
I have made like 5 videos.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
And I made like 30 takes of them.
Oh yeah.
The exact same.
Are you So are you looking to like you're looking to get better at it, I would assume, right?
Yep.
So can I
have is,
well, can I offer you a bit of advice? I've been doing this a long time, so I can just offer you a bit. What I tell everybody, if you can, try to take an acting class and an improv class. And I say that because it's really good at allowing you to learn how to connect with an audience. I mean, I'm terrible at it, but to connect with an audience, and then also to be able to quickly think on your feet. So if you're doing something where you're taking multiple takes and it gets frustrating, which can happen, I know it happens to me all the time. That it helps you just kind of formulate your thoughts better. Because it just teaches you exercises like how to get mentally prepared for like getting into what you want to. So it's a good way to loosen up and be more of you on camera.
that sounds good. I don't think that is advice.
Yeah, it's I recommend it to everybody. I've taken acting classes, and I've been doing this for years, so you just kind of get used to it.
Yeah.
But the key is keep going. And you're going to have good days and you're going to have bad days. And I think, Enosh will agree with me on this one. Like, you have your good and you have your bad.
Mm-hmm.
I've been trying. I've been trying to learn how to use StreamYard like all day today, and it's been like complicated.
Yeah, that happens to me all the time. Like all the time. Like, I get accused often of like being really lazy at this, but I've been doing it. Like, I just know what to do. So I just do it pretty effortlessly. So it just looks lazy. Right. But that's, again, it's all practice. It's all practice.
Absolutely.
So,
my account on Twitter is DC Film Universe.
Oh, that's you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Me either.
That's me.
Okay. All right. Now I know. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I gotta agree with what Matt said. It's funny because even if you've done stuff like in different formats, it's interesting when you start something new. There's always room to grow. Like I feel like on YouTube, I'm starting to finally find my my groove. Like my place and be able to talk and do these things where it's like I did radio for years. I did a radio show for years, and being behind not being in front of a camera was something that is a completely different thing. So I could talk, but to have to be visual with people and in a visual medium like YouTube is a different thing. And so like I look back at like when we first started our YouTube channel, like we weren't trying to be all cool and everything. We were just making videos and and just talking to people. And it's like I look back at some of those early videos, and they're painstakingly slow sometimes, and like I drone on, and I still drone on. I mean that's part of it, but yeah, I mean you just like Matt said, you get better at it. You become more quick-witted, where you kind of think about stuff, and it comes to you, and it's doing it. You just got to start, you just, if you keep thinking about it, putting it off, you'll never get started. But if you just do it, jump in, and and also, and Matt, we were talking about this earlier on Max's stream, kind of before we came over here, is you got to have a thick skin.
And I've been accused of not having that. And there are days where you don't, and there's days where you do. Again, it's all good. You have your good days, you have your bad days. Like, I'll put it to you like this. There are days like I didn't do anything today. I didn't put any video out today. I just did not have it in me.
Wow.
And then I'm like, I just need a break because and even tonight doing live streams, I was like, I've been on Max's, I jumped on Enosh's, but I just didn't have the energy to do my own. So it's like, and you can.
Same with me when I first start out.
Yeah, it's okay to feel that way. That's the hardest part about being a YouTuber, is a lot of times, especially if you get into this habit. Like, I'm a workaholic to a detriment. I'm a workaholic, and you know, like I'll work until like my eyes are just like I can't see straight, sort of thing.
Wow.
Like trying to research or like look for something new, and I put so much pressure on myself. I've got like I have trouble sleeping some nights because I just can't turn my brain off. And so, and I had to go, like, I'm on antidepressants. I had to go see a therapist. Like this kind of stuff and the reason why I'm telling, and I have no problem talking about this. I have no problem being honest about it. A lot of it is, it's the stress and it's the pressure that a lot of us put on ourselves, but we don't ever really talk about. And that's one of the reasons why I think in the last like year or so, you've seen a lot of YouTubers kind of like have these massive bad situations because they do this. The thing is, it's a very rewarding experience. It's a very awesome experience. Like I have an old logo that was like this blue skull. It was on the Mundane Matt channel. And the very first in-person meetup I did when I met people for the very first time as me, as Matt Jarbo. I hadn't done it before. No one had met me as Mundane Matt. This woman who was there, whose name I unfortunately terribly forget, she had actually knitted me or sewed me. She made a Mundane Matt pillow.
That's cool.
And I still have it. It's sitting on my dresser right now. I love that thing, you know? And that was like a very rewarding experience because I'd never anticipated anyone being so, you know, liking what I said enough to make me a pillow of my logo.
That's really nice.
Yeah. And like I've been recognized, you know, in a lot of different places, which is pretty interesting. But yeah, I mean, like the reason why I'm saying this is because there's the good with it as well. It's not just bad, but it's all about like knowing your limits. That's what I really want to say, is like knowing your limits. Don't force yourself to do anything you don't really want to do because you feel you have to. And that is one of the tragic parts of this gig, is because once you get an audience that accepts you and likes you, which is something everybody wants, then in your mind you feel like you owe them something, and like then you feel like compelled to keep working, and that can have, you know, and that can kind of burn you out. So the best advice I could give right now would be just slow and steady. You know, pick a topic, a niche. If you do DC comic stuff, focus on DC for a while. We're not doing much. Star Wars is going to kind of be dead for a bit.
Marvel is kind of thin right now.
Yeah, but DC, man, every day new things are coming out. Apparently, DC fandom's on the horizon.
Insane.
Yeah, I can't wait for DC fandom. So just focus on what gets you excited, right? Like what gets you hyped up, what gets you really into it. And I think that would be pretty good. But I'm going to check out because this is your time to talk with Enosh, and I feel like I've taken up too much of it. But I wish you the absolute best.
Yeah. You can follow me on Twitter if you like.
Yeah, send me a message and I'll follow you.
I will.
So that way I just remember, because I'm a very forgetful person. I'm kind of an idiot on that one. So, but send me a message. I'll follow you definitely. Thank you again, Inhuman, for being an active part of my community. I really appreciate that. I wish you the absolute best of luck.
You're welcome.
And enjoy your time with Enosh. Thanks again, Enosh.
Absolutely, man. Always a pleasure. Always good to have you on here. Glad we can like bring people together.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, totally. Because I saw that comment from Inhuman. I wanted to make sure he got what he wanted. So, 100%. Cool. All right, guys. Have yourself a great evening. Peace out.
All right, Matt. We'll see you later, man. I was like having Matt on the channel. I was a big fan of Matt's. I've watched Matt for a long time, and so it's fun for me to have Matt. Yeah, so it's fun for me to have him on my channel, you know, because it's like it's Matt Jarbo, and now it's just Matt. So what's on your? Yeah, man, for sure. So what's on your mind tonight, Mr. Quake?
Nothing much. I just want to show my support for you, and I like your channel and everything.
Oh man, that's I appreciate that so much, man. That's that means so much to me. Like I can't ever express to everybody just how much it means that like people show up and watch the channel and support us, with watching the videos and coming in here like on this. And that's why I love doing these kind of things where I can actually talk to you guys, and get to know you a little bit better, because that's what it's all about for me, man. That's why we started. That's why we started the Poindexter Lounge. Like when we call people nerd family and say that this is a place for nerds, we mean it. This is a place for everybody. And so thank you so much for that, man. I really appreciate
You're
that.
welcome. I wouldn't want to do this because I have no friends or my family that like this kind of stuff. Okay. And I guess I want to have a place to talk about like nerd stuff.
Absolutely. I can relate. It's hard when you don't have a lot of people to talk about the stuff that you love, isn't it?
Yep.
No, I get that. For sure. Because like I'm blessed that my family likes to talk about this stuff, but it's like, sometimes I'll be at work and people will just look at me like, I have no idea what you're talking about, Enosh, like Star Wars or DC. Yep.
Same thing with my mom. She's like annoyed when I talk about Star Wars. Yeah.
But I think people are starting to understand. Like when I was younger, I think people thought, well, Enosh will grow out of that. Like he'll eventually grow out of that and move on to something else. And I just never did, man. This is what I love, and I still love it. And I'm going to be 44 years old in September, and yep, I ain't stopping anytime soon, man. I'm gonna love this stuff. I'm gonna love this stuff to the day I die.
Same.
Yeah, man.
I just realized it's 3 o'clock almost.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I just realized it's 3 o'clock almost.
Yeah, it's almost 3 in the morning. Yeah, I think Gongaga is next, and as long as we don't get like an influx of everyone, we've been doing hours. We're 2 hours right now, so I'm hoping maybe we get like 2.5 hours tonight, and then I can relax a little bit. I actually got a couple of videos to make. Everybody's been wanting to see me make more Mark Uno videos, and so just having time to make them. So hopefully maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow's my day off, so hopefully tomorrow maybe I can bust something out for everybody.
That's cool.
Yeah, man.
I gotta go now. It's super late.
All right, man. Well, hey, thanks for sticking around. Thanks for waiting a little while in the back there. And
thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. Anytime, brother. You can come on anytime, and we can, and we'll talk about anything you want to talk about. All right.
Okay.
All right, man.
Thank
you have a good night. All right. Thanks.
You too.
Talk to you soon. Yeah, I tell you what, we do. We just love you guys. I know I say it all the time, and we bring it up all the time, but it really is the truth. Ray's Collection says, this is why I subscribe to you at Poindexter. Great channel. You show everyone the same love, and I like that. Hey, you know what? That's it. Why wouldn't I? Right? Like, I mean, that seemed like a given, but it is amazing how sometimes like you kind of see that, is that, but we got no agenda here. We got no agenda. We're here for you guys. And so really appreciate you guys. All right. Now this guy, I tell you what, I gotta have this guy. I think I'm gonna bring him into Poindexter Council one day if we can work it out, because I know he's on the other side of the planet, and he's down under. He's from a totally different place, and they got songs written about that. So, but I always love his insight. I always love the way that he thinks, and he always brings up some great topics. And I know you guys love him too, and I've really enjoyed getting to know him here in the last week or so. I guess a couple weeks now. Man, it goes so fast when you're dealing with this whole thing that's going on with the world. But welcome to the Poindexter Lounge once again, by popular demand, Gungaga.
Hey man, how's it going?
Good, man. Good to see you. Didn't I just see you?
Yeah. Hey, quick question. I've got my dishwasher on in the background. Is that hindering the sound?
No, okay. I don't hear it at all. Yeah, no, okay. I don't hear it at all. I see you got a haircut.
I did.
Look at you.
Speaking of the old COVIDs, last day before going back to work tomorrow. So stocked up on some nerds today, and I've got some Iron Brew, and I've got to complain about something. I bought this massive pack of like Dorito rip-offs at this nearby store, and they are terrible. It took me $2 or $3 Australian dollars, which I'm not sure what that translates to. Probably about maybe $1.70 US. And it's a pretty massive packet, but they're terrible, and I'm stuck with them, and I'm going to eat them because I've moved out recently, and using all my resources on things, and don't want to be wasting money, so I'm going to smash through them.
Well, you know what you do is you get some salsa, some really good salsa, and then that way you just cover up the taste, or just smother them in cheese, and then and then you'll get through the taste.
So yeah, got the haircut today, and yeah, not well. I won't talk about work. In case anyone from work sees this, which I'm hoping they don't. Probably shouldn't have divulged what I do as well before, but it doesn't matter. So hey, how's it going?
I'm good, man. You know what? I came home this afternoon from church. Yep. And I came home, so like right now. Yeah, thanks for mentioning that video. Yeah, like I just threw it up, like I was waiting, like I was telling Matt, like I was waiting for the whole, like, why are you posting this stuff? Because I don't post a lot of stuff like that, on the channel. And like I said, it wasn't anything more than just, hey, I'm just going to share with you guys kind of what I'm doing. This is my reality, where I'm at right now. And so I did that, and but it's really weird because like the whole church thing right now, because we got a good sized church. I mean, we have like 2 services, and typically before COVID hit, we would have about 1,300 to 1,400 people between the 2 services, so about 700 per service.
Sure.
But so pretty good, size, and right now is just a really weird time because we are renovating the stage area. So there was a wonderful lady who she passed on, and she donated some money to the church for grades and stuff like that. It's pretty cool because we actually took some of that money and we're giving away, and we're actually helping people. We took like 14% of that, and like we're giving it away to help people. But also so it's not just like us, right? And so we're trying to give back, but then also we're updating our stage. And so we built the stage out quite a bit, and then also we're putting in a brand new sound system, and so it's going to be thumping in there, man. It's going to be awesome. I'm digging it, and then also we put in a new camera system because like the cameras that we had in there before were like from like 1992, and like apparently that's long before my time, but the church got them from like somebody else, so God only knows how old they were before that. And so when we went to the whole COVID thing, it was hard for everybody. Like it's not HD, you know what I mean? And so like, you want people to be able to see what you're doing and everything. So we kind of changed our approach there. And so we're installing all this stuff. So like they ripped up all the carpet on the stage. It's all just like, and for some reason, when they built this stage, the church, the original church burnt down in the 90s. And then when they rebuilt it, they built this bigger building. And that's cool. But when they built the stage, instead of building it out of wood, they literally built it out of like concrete. So so everything is in like all the wiring. That's one of the reasons why we built more stage, was to be able to like hide the subs underneath the stage and stuff, and like
acoustics, or like to dampen the sound, or
I don't know, man. Nobody can seem to figure it out, because we've got, I mean, because like our church, like we've got an orchestra, and we've got like a lot of musical people, and like, tech savvy people, and like people are coming out of the woodwork all of a sudden saying, like, knowing that we're doing this, saying, yeah, like 20 years ago, whatever, 25 years ago, when they did this, we told them, don't do this, build it out of, wood or whatever, so that you can run wiring, so that you can change things. And so our tech guy, he's using this now as an opportunity. I mean, like they literally had a jackhammer, and they were having to put channels to like bring out the old wiring, put the new wiring in. So we're doing that. And we just went back to having services, you know, like maybe 3-4 weeks ago, where we're actually in the place. And so everybody's spread out. It looks different. It feels different. Like we would typically do like 5 songs and have them at different places in the service and do things like that. And now it's like we're doing 3 songs. We're kind of trying to get everybody in and out. And like Matt was saying, everybody's got a different opinion about when it comes to everything. You know, like masks and everything. So we got literally one side. One side of the building is for people to wear masks. One side is for people who don't. And we try to encourage everybody to, but you know, and also trying to explain, like, look, we're not trying to make a political statement, you know, because now all of a sudden that's been politicized and everything. And so it's just a fun and interesting time.
I don't know. I haven't really kept up with the US news in about a week or so. So
okay. Yeah, it's just everybody
minor sort of stuff that I look up, but yeah,
we're in Michigan, and so just yesterday our governor came out. Was it yesterday or Friday? It was I think it was Friday. Our governor came out and said, now we're going back to like masks are mandatory, and if you don't wear them, you can be fined up to $500.
Oh wow!
And so it's like it's a real hot button issue for everybody right now around here.
We've just we were in lockdown for about 6 weeks, but with my job considered like a what's the word considered
essential?
Essential, yeah, that's right. We ended up running for a little bit. We were running classes online, and then we had a 2-week break just finished now, which sorry. My phone's going off. 2-week break, which finishes. Well, today it's Monday here at the moment.
Okay. Yeah.
But we're starting tomorrow, and then we're going to be doing some online classes as well as in work again. But then they've just announced that we're locking down again for another 6 weeks.
Oh wow!
And they're saying about masks as well, but they said that they can't. They can't make us wear masks, but they highly, highly, highly recommend it.
Yes.
And no one's wearing masks. I got my hair cut and like they're not wearing masks and they're in there all day, you know?
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because we had a guy literally about 15, 20 minutes from where I live, and he just had a little barber shop. And this made like national news because this was when everything was shut down. We were supposed to be in lockdown and stuff. We're not in lockdown right now. We can go out. You can do things. It's just that they want you to wear masks. So businesses reopened. They have not shut down bars and like restaurants or anything again. So that's kind of where we're at. Well, this guy is an older guy. He's in his 70s. He opened up his barber shop, and man, just the crap hit the fan. You know, like they kept going back and forth with this guy, trying to shut him down. The governor was like making all these proclamations about him. They took him to court, tried to get the courts to shut him down. The court said no. They went back. Like it's just this big deal, and it's like it's just this little guy who has like one little chair in his barber shop, and it's like. I don't know, you know, like, is it, I don't
crazy.
know.
Yeah. And almost feels like there's no end in sight. Kind of like a
I know.
No ending, you know?
I know, man. It does. It feels like a movie sometimes where it's like you're literally sitting there wondering, like, is this going to, you know, like I'm always a proponent. I'm always positive, right? So I'm always like, oh yeah, we'll get back to normal at some point. Things will go back and we'll be good. And it's like, even I, like a couple of times I'm just like, man, how long is this thing gonna persist? You know,
also in regards to that is like the impact it's had on businesses, they're like being able to stay alive. And most places probably can't. I'm sure it's probably a similar situation with you guys over there, but most businesses, they were like, they're scraping through for the first lockdown, and now that we've hit another lockdown, they're like, shit, what are we going to do?
Yeah, so, no, I know exactly what you mean. There's a lot of people who are concerned about that if we have to lock down it again, they're just like, look, we can't. I talked to a guy a couple of weeks ago, and he was telling me, he says, look, our business shut down for the first one because it was our down season, you know, so it was okay and we could get by. He says, but right now we're going into like the meat and potatoes, like what we have to have. That in if we get shut down again, he says they won't. There's people now who are talking about like they're just not going to abide by it. You know what I mean? Like it's going to be like civil disobedience. You know?
Yeah, you guys have been having like protests and all. I've seen that. Yeah, that stuff makes obviously world news. So seeing your protest.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw, but like being here in the Flint, Michigan area in Genesee County, Michigan, I was actually really proud of this. And I just saw our county sheriff last week. He came to our service, our church service, and I got a chance to talk to him. And actually, he asked me if he could come on the channel and talk. And the thing was that, you know, we had, this was interesting because we had this big protest. It was right after all the stuff in, you know, that's been going around and, you know, and all these protests erupting and, you know, the destruction, you know, and everything that we've been seeing in the violence and, you know, and just everything that had been happening. And it's amazing because they had a Black Lives Matter protest scheduled for here. And Flint, if you know anything about Flint has taken it's just got a bad rap. I mean, we had a water emergency, you know, where like the whole world knew that Flint's water was bad, and you know, and that you know that we had an issue with that, and so we always seem to get this negative.
Was it's actually the COVID sort of stuff, or was that during? Or?
Oh no, this started probably like 2014, I think 2013, 14. Yeah, we had a whole issue with our water system that was really. I mean, it was so bad. Like it's literally like comic book proportion bad. I got to meet Adam West before he passed away at our Comic-Con, and I made the joke because this was national news. In a nutshell, basically what happened was that we wanted to build a water pipeline of our own. We were getting water from Detroit, and the thing is our infrastructure was really old, and so they wanted to build this pipeline. And so when they decided to do this, the Detroit water system came back and said, hey, no, we don't want to lose you as a customer, so we're going to charge you more. Well, the local leaders got together, and there's a lot of fuzziness. There's people who want to say that it was the governor or whatever, but I was friends with a lot of the local leaders at the time, and I know that a lot of that, you know, they supported what happened at the time because they wanted to go to our river and use our river water until we could, you know, build this pipeline out to one of the Great Lakes. And what it did was that water was hard water. And so with pipes like that, since these pipes are so old, some of them are like 100 years old, you know, and whatever, the pipes that go from the street to your house. And so what happened was that water, because it was hard water, it ate away at like the slime layer on the inside of the pipes. And when it did, it exposed lead in the pipes.
Oh man, that's geez.
Yeah, and so it created
poison the water essentially.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and so people were concerned that it was going to poison like a whole generation of kids and everything, and so it got really bad, and so they discovered it, and we got off the water. But there was people who, you know, there were legitimate problems, and then there was of course the placebo effect where like all of a sudden people were just like, you know, blaming everything on the water. But you know, long story short, it was funny because it was such a big deal here in the States that when I got to meet Adam West, when I went up there, they tell you that you had to state your name and where you're from. And so I came up there and it was both him and Burt Ward. So Batman and Robin are sitting up there on the panel. And so like I get up there and I said, hi, my name is Enosh. And actually, this is on the channel. You can actually find it on the channel. It's a Comic-Con 2017 or 16 or whatever. And so, so yeah, and so like I recorded the whole panel. It was funny. But I get up there and I said, hi, my name is Enosh, and then something like I'm from Flint. And I said, no, I am not here to ask you to come and save us from the dastardly deeds that have been done poisoning our water system. Because it sounded like a Batman kind of like story, right? Like, you know, these evil bad guys poisoned our water and we need Batman to come save us. But yeah, so we've gone through a lot, man. We've gone through a lot in this area. But I'll tell you what, we've taken a hit. But this community is so strong and resilient. and it just keeps bouncing back. And, it used to be that the car industry, this is where General Motors was born. Detroit gets all, Detroit gets all the hype, and they call it the Motor City, but this is actually called Vehicle City, because before cars were even invented, they built carriages here in Flint. And so the people who owned the carriage companies actually started GM. Like I lived like 5 minutes away from where like the two guys met on the street on Saginaw Street and came up with the idea for starting General Motors. And so there's a lot of history here, but unfortunately for about 70, 80 years, our entire economy was built around General Motors. So in the 70s and 80s and 90s, when General Motors started pulling out, it crippled the economy here. We went from literally having, I think it was 80,000 workers, 80,000 shop workers who worked, and I mean, basically you could turn 18 and literally you didn't have to go to college. You literally went over to GM, filled out the application, and all of a sudden you had a great paying job with full benefits, with, medical, dental, vision, all that stuff, plus a retirement, and a pension and all that stuff. And you didn't have to do anything. I mean, that was the norm around here. Well, we went from having 80,000 to, I think the last count, there was just over 7,000 GM workers still here in this area. So like we took a huge hit, but we've diversified. We've now got like 5 colleges in the area. The downtown area has been really built up. So now we're seeing restaurants pop up. That's kind of one of the bummers about this whole thing. Like I actually do stints. I've played music down at some of the restaurants, in the bars downtown and stuff, and do that. And I mean,
can I just quickly ask, in terms of the loss of jobs, is that because of exporting jobs overseas, or is that just
so it's a couple of things. A lot of people blamed it on sending jobs to Mexico, and there is that. Okay, there is a segment that sent jobs to Mexico, but the thing was GM originally came to the city of Flint, but like I said, all of our economy was based around GM. So GM sponsored everything, man. They had big parades, like every community thing that was done was always sponsored by GM. And I think the city of Flint really, they got accustomed to it, and they got a little
comfortable.
Comfortable with this whole thing. And so GM came to them when GM was hurting a couple of times, and they said, hey, we need, can you work with us? We need some tax breaks, some tax cuts to be able to stay in the area. And I think that the former, well, I mean, a lot of the people who still around, like they didn't see that as plausible. Like they felt like GM would never leave, like that they would just stay. And so they said, no.
I guess, yeah.
Yep. And so they refused tax cuts to General Motors. And when they did that, General Motors started looking elsewhere. So a lot of the jobs that we lost, to be quite honest with you, even though we did lose some to Mexico and to overseas, a lot of them went to southern states. So GM opened up new plants in like Tennessee and South Carolina, stuff like that. So like other places where they were given tax cuts, and that there had to be some kind of crazy tax cut for them to build brand new plants to literally destroy plants here. Because I mean, Corvettes were built here in Flint. The V8 engine was built here in Flint. Trucks and buses are still built here in Flint. The Chevy Volts are put together here in Flint. But like they literally they tore down several plants here and built brand new plants in southern states, and that was cheaper for them to do that than to stay here. So it was just really rough. But like I said, we've taken a lot of hits, but we're still here. And the thing is though, is that, like I said a couple weeks ago, I literally had people call me. Some people who work for the township, and they said, hey, Enosh, because I used to be on a couple of boards and stuff, and they said, hey, you probably don't want to go in this area or that area because we don't know what the outcome is going to be of some of these, protests, because obviously not all the protests There've been some that have been very well handled, and there've been some that haven't. And so I was like, okay, well, I was so surprised later that day because the county sheriff was out there, and they were in riot gear and everything. They were anticipating the worst. And you know what? He stood up. He's a good man. He really is a good man. He stood up, and he just took over. We had a county sheriff that I had known for a long time, but he gotten older and he just retired like about a year ago. And so Chris Swanson took over, and this is like a huge thing for him to do. But he stood up in the middle of this protest and he said, "Hey, look, you guys want to march? You guys want to walk together? I will walk with you." He told everybody to take off all their gear and everything. And he said, "We will walk with you. Where do you want to go? It's a nice evening. We'll march with you. We will stand with you, and we will go where we need to go." And it totally diffused the whole situation, man.
Yeah, good. It's good.
And and it made national news. And I actually had people like messaging me. They're like, "Hey, good for Flint." You know what I mean? And like, it was nice to see something positive like that, because I think a lot of people assumed that if something bad was going to happen, it was going to happen here, you know, like, and we really can't afford, and I know nobody can afford it, but we just really can't afford for our community to be
shut down
and torn up like that, you know? And
sorry,
so
my, it's really cold in my place, so I'm just going to.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Yep.
You're fine.
Sorry.
Yeah. So I was so impressed by that. And so I was really thankful that he showed up at my church a couple weeks ago. And I just went up and talked to him, and I just told him how thankful I was. He really showed his leadership. You know what I mean? Cause like, that's not happening in every community, and every police force is not, you know, having that kind of reaction. But man, but the people cheered him, and they walked with him, and they walked, you know, through the night, and it was good, and it ended up being a very positive thing for the community, and we've had a lot of positive experiences since then because of it. And so he actually told me, he said, "Hey," he said, "take my number." He says, "I would love to come on the channel." So I don't know, I may actually end up taking him up on that and like having him on the channel just to show something positive that's happening out there, you know?
Yeah, you need a bit. We need a bit more positivity these days, man. I went through this massive rant of just watching the quartering yesterday.
Yeah,
videos on and off before, but like I was so bored last night that I just smashed through so many of his videos. As much as I like them, it's a lot of the ones that I was actually looking for were the ones like, you know, like saying something about someone else or something like that. So
I know, you know, he frustrates me. Gungaga. He really frustrates me because I think out of all of that group of people, you know, and I don't know if you saw my little smash together video that I did that had him in it about Brie Larson. Did you see the video I put?
Recently?
Yeah. So I didn't, I just put it out the other day. I didn't do, Mad Max was giving me a hard time because I didn't do a Brie Larson video. Like when Brie Larson started her YouTube channel, and I still may say something about it because I released this video the other day, but like, I just really don't care. Like, I don't care if Brie Larson has a YouTube page. It has no bearing on the Poindexter Lounge or Enosh at all. Right. But it's like in my YouTube feed, I got Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers literally like making several videos about this, just whining and complaining that Brie Larson is on YouTube.
People need something to talk about. That's
oh my gosh. Well, and it's one thing because I expect from Jeremy, right? So like, okay, Jeremy's kind of like background noise at this point to me. He's like, he's gonna just complain about everything because that's his shtick now, and he's like a broken record. You know, it's like he's just gonna try to spin it. Well, then, turn around and that Star Wars girl, Anna, that Star Wars girl. I don't know if you've ever seen her.
Is she pink hair?
No. She's no, she's got dark hair. Here.
Oh yes, I do know. Yeah.
So anyway, she did a video, and oh my gosh, like she's just like, oh, I don't want to have to do this video about Brie Larson, but oh my gosh, it's Brie Larson and she's come to YouTube and she's just so sarcastic. And I can't stand it. It just drives me up the wall. And so she does that. And then I got to watch freaking Mecha Random 42. And I don't know if you've ever seen her. She's the one with the red hair.
Oh, yes. That's probably the one I was thinking of initially.
And, oh, man, I wanted to scrape out my eyeballs watching her. Like, because she's got all these sound effects and stuff. And she's going on about how Brie Larson gets all this special treatment. And the rest of us have to work hard for what we get and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, and then the quartering comes in and he's the same way. And he's got this whole thing where he's saying that Brie Larson came to YouTube basically to shut down all those guys, the quartering and everybody, because if you have a YouTube channel, you can't like target other YouTube channels, which I don't understand how that works, because YouTube channels target YouTube channels all the time, but I guess you can't be like vindictive, like really bad or whatever. And so that's what he was saying. And so it's like, so I put this little video together of them just like whining and complaining about it. And then Jeremy going on about how he doesn't care about all this stuff, but yet he's making a video about it. Yeah. And so like, that was my entry. Cause Mad Max, I was on Mad Max's channel a couple of weeks ago or whatever, when that whole thing started. And I told Max, I said, yeah, I haven't made a Brie Larson video yet. And he goes, oh, well, man, you're behind the times. He's like, you can't make one now. He's like, you totally missed out on that ball, like getting all those, views and clicks and everything. I said, yeah, I really don't care. I said, I don't care. Like, I'm not a fan of Brie Larson. I don't care. Like, Captain Marvel was all right. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I honestly thought Captain Marvel was going to be just a train wreck. Sure. And going to see it, like, I didn't hate it, but it's just really blah to me. It's just kind of that's probably the more recent one that I've seen, Captain Marvel, and I saw that because I was all my mates are Marvel fans. They're not, and they're pretty anti DC. And I think I was just bored that day, and they were going, I'll go. And because I'd already seen so much stuff online about it, so I'm like, I gotta see how it turns out. Because I do sometimes when I'm in a good mood, I'm like, I'll make the judgment for myself. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I watch it. Actually, honestly, like I didn't like it, but I probably similar to you. I didn't like it, but I did not like it either. I just kind of like indifferent to it.
Yes.
It was just like movie. It happened. It's been 2 hours or whatever. And now I can just go live the rest of my life. And I've never thought about any element of that film since, apart from when this news sort of came out and I was thinking about it. So
no, it's exactly it, man. It's like, I even watched it a second time. I wouldn't
even remember like specific details of that film. It's just,
I know that's the bad thing about it.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't really do anything. It just kind of sits there and is what it is. I watched it a second time and even the second time I watched it, I was like, I still don't get this. I don't understand why this is like such a big deal of a movie to people.
Well, probably for them, they conveniently placed it in between Infinity War and Endgame, because they're like, maybe if they put it beforehand, it wouldn't have done well, but to put it in between the two biggest Marvel films, arguably, it makes people go watch it because they're like, I want to know, like, I know they're introducing this character, so I've got to see this film. But like, it wasn't, you could watch Endgame and not having seen Captain Marvel.
You're exactly right. And I've said it ever since the movie made $1 billion. I said, this movie, it made $1 billion, dude. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. But I said when it did, I said, look, this movie did not make $1 billion on its own merits. Because if this movie was like, somewhere early in the MCU or whatever, or like even like, say this movie came out at the time that Iron Man came out, right? And you just threw this movie and it was just like, hey, here's Captain Marvel. People would have gone to see it maybe, but there's no way it makes $1 billion. The only reason Captain Marvel made $1 billion was because they hyped up the fact Captain Marvel was going to be in Endgame, and they ended the one movie with a teaser with, that whole beeper, scene, with her symbol on it. So you knew that Captain Marvel was coming. And so you kind of had to go see that movie because you felt obligated that like I need to go see the Captain Marvel movie to be able to watch Endgame. And then, like you said, you really didn't have to. It was just kind of there, but it was like it definitely benefited from the fact that it was the lead end. It was the lead in to Infinity War. Infinity War, yeah.
And also the branding. They're geniuses at like Marvel's. They're geniuses, really. Like,
oh yeah.
As much as I hate to admit it, with like their branding and stuff. So if you think of it like this, what would Captain Marvel, exact same film, but like what would that film have scored if it was a DC film? Would it have scored the same? And also, what would it have scored if it was an indie comic film? Because I actually also think that if it was an indie comic film, it might have scored quite well, which is an odd thing to say, maybe. But
I get that.
Because I think the publicity that would come along with it would be like, oh, there's this other comic book studio. They're putting out this film for a female character, and that's their first film, and so.
But if you look at like story wise, right? Like you said, if you compare it to a DC film and you said like that was a DC film, people would have torn it apart because there's not really a story there. And like Captain Marvel doesn't really have a personality in the movie. She's just kind of very bland because like for most of it, she's trying to figure out who she is.
Yes.
You know? And so unlike a movie like Wonder Woman, where there's this like beautiful story that is told, you know, in this period piece over, you know, World War I and everything. And it's like, okay, and there's this great story of Themyscira and you know, and the love story between her and Steve and, you know, and all those things. Like, Wonder Woman is just a much better movie than Captain Marvel. But like you said, if Captain Marvel was an indie film, I agree with that. I get what you're saying with that it would have definitely, I think, got more people's attention as an indie film. But, you know, it is what it is. But, you know, but like I said, I'm not a Brie Larson fan. But my goodness, man, like I love Mad Max because he's almost come out with like a positive like towards Brie Larson. But, you know, it's like good for her. She wanted to make a YouTube channel. How does that affect me? I'm still making my YouTube channel. I'm still working hard at it. You know, they're all complaining. And the video's funny because I do it in a comical way and I edit it, you know, and do some funny things. But but the funny thing is that they're all just griping and saying that she's getting special treatment because apparently her channel was monetized right from the get-go. And it's like, well, all you need is 1,000 subscribers. It's Brie freaking Larson. You know what I mean? Like even if they didn't give it to her right away, she's a celebrity. You know she's going to get hundreds of thousands of subscribers. So what are you griping about? And then Jeremy's going on because he's got like 260,000 subscribers. And within the first one.
And he was saying, comparing it to his subscribers and saying,
oh yeah, he's comparing it.
Gets past him and all that.
Yeah, because she only got like 150,000 subscribers in 24 hours. And so, because there were people who were actually rooting for her to get more subscribers than him in the first 24 hours. And which would have been funny, I guess. But, you know, like, who cares? Like, just who, like to quote Peter Griffin, who cares? Like, I don't care. Like, let Brie Larson do what she's doing. She's released one video, and that video was like this nice, positive thing. It wasn't, you know, she didn't go after anybody. She didn't do anything. Like, why are you guys devoting all this time to Brie Larson? For goodness sake, you know, just move on with your life. Complain about Star Wars some more. I don't know, man. Just
more money by complaining about her, actually. Probably
that's true.
Views. She'll be sponsored by I don't know. I was going to say she'll be sponsored by Disney, but she's getting paid by Disney already anyway.
So tomorrow I will start my Brie Larson rants.
Can you just how about you just start a YouTube channel just for Brie Larson, like a fan, and then you just cover all positive Brie Larson, all positive. In fact, make it a CNN kind of thing. So it's like a 24-hour thing. So I could wake up like at midnight and I'll be like, oh, what's going on the old Brie Larson's?
That would be fun, man.
24 hours news channel, Brie Larson. I swear, get all your mates on it. Get everyone from across the globe to contribute to it. Ongoing. You'll
be great. Like, just have like a community Brie Larson thing where like somebody just takes over at all times, and we're just like positive Brie Larson stuff 24/7.
Hey,
That'd
man.
be hilarious.
I'll
That'd
put
be
my hand
hilarious.
up the Australian hours.
And I'd be like, all right, so now we're going to go to our Australian correspondent, Gungaga. Gungaga, what are people saying about Brie Larson there in Australia?
Absolutely nothing.
That's hilarious.
Hey, man, I can't stay for long, but there was a couple of things that I wanted to bring up with you specifically. Yeah. One of them was that I feel like this happens every time, but I got to apologize for something to the wider DC community, because I started my YouTube channel probably about 2 months ago, just before, probably about 3 weeks before the Snyder Cut news came out.
Okay.
And I made a fake DC leak video, and I copped so much hate for it. As much hate as you can get as being a new YouTube channel. If I was like a big, like I had a lot of followers or a lot of people would see the video, I'd probably cop a lot more hate for it. But yeah, I definitely trolled the DC community on that one, which is why I said I appreciate a good troll when with Kavari. So yeah. That's the first thing. So sorry to all you DC fans. I do love you, and that's why I like to troll you. Second thing is in regards to just coming off the end of the conversation that you had with Devontae last week. I don't know, the last was it the last one, or maybe I don't know if I've missed one or whatever. But we were talking about diversity in. Well, you guys were talking about diversity in films. Yeah. And I wanted to give you my take on it, because I think my take might be somewhat interesting. Okay. But might be panned. I mean, like, it might not be. It's not it probably wouldn't be a well accepted opinion. Okay. But it's my opinion, and it's based on how I feel and how I connect with the films. So I actually have a problem with the going for this politically correct, diverse sort of thing with the films. I think that, and I guess this is a Martin Luther quote. You know, like, not to judge a character, not to judge a person by their skin color, but by the content of their character. And so, if we're using that kind of idea, I think it's not good to change. For example, Michael B. Jordan as Superman. I think that's stupid. I think it's silly, to be honest.
Absolutely, like, I'm right there with you, man.
I can understand what people are asking for, but I think there's enough characters in the DC universe that are racially diverse that they can incorporate them into the wider DC films. And we don't have to always base things on comic books, because Snyder's universe is not based on one particular comic book. It's taken bits and pieces of ideas from other comic books. So why not put Black Lightning in a film? Why not put Static Shock in a film? Like, they're not traditionally part of like this brand of the DC characters, but why not put them in? John Stewart, you know, like, you know, you can, and like even the female characters and all that. But like the thing is, like, I think I'm not I'm actually, my background is from Mauritius, which is a place near an island off South Africa. We actually had, that's where the dodos came from before they were made extinct. But you know, but I've got like a very far back ancestry, Indian ancestry. I've never been represented in any of these films. Does it bother me? Not really, because what I connect with is the actual character themselves, rather than, you know, like saying, oh, that guy is an Indian guy, or he is me. And like, you know, I've never been that type of person anyway. Like, I've always had like friends from different nationality backgrounds, and like, we don't even acknowledge, you know, each other's backgrounds. I mean, we don't even say, like, it's not even a thing. It's just, that's just another person. So that's my view on that. And maybe people will disagree. I don't know what the situation is, as much as obviously you guys do in America with all of that kind of stuff. But that's my feeling based on my environment. And Yeah, that's pretty much what I was going to bring up.
Yeah, man. So I totally agree with you. So here's the funny thing, right? Because like I know, and I'm saying this because Soy-based Jeremy is in the chat, and I like Soy-based Jeremy. He's a good guy, and he's a fan of Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, and I know that I give Geeks and Gamers a hard time on a lot of things because I don't agree with a lot of the things that Jeremy says. The funny thing is that like on topics like this, I am fully there. Like I fully agree with I would say fully agree because they may say the stuff that I don't necessarily agree with. So I don't like to say I fully agree with somebody, but when it comes to this topic, and that's what Devontae and I were talking about, and that's why I wanted to get Devontae's opinion as well, because he is a person of color, right? And he is a nerd and into this stuff, right? And I think that when we start basing like what we're gonna do, like as almost like there's a quota, like we have to get this many people of color into this movie, or we have to get this many women into this movie, or this anything, right? I mean, like I don't want to see that in anything. I don't feel that like we should have to put a quote on something. Now, do I understand? I want to be sensitive to the fact that I get, like you said, like there are some cultures that aren't necessarily represented. But okay, but let's take a look at that. What can we do to bring about properties that will represent them, right? That will represent your background, right? So that you can see that. And so
what I'm saying as well is that I don't even need that, like, because
you don't need that, and that
is connecting with the characteristic traits of that that character rather than the skin color, because I think it's a bit surface level to be like, oh yeah, that guy is a white guy. You're sorry, you're a white guy. You're gonna connect with that guy, and then I'm an Indian guy. That I'm gonna connect with that guy, and then it just doesn't really. It's not. I don't know if that
people connect with characters. People connect with People connect with characters. When I watch a movie, like when I watch Beverly Hills Cop, okay, and we just watched it. We watched the whole trilogy like a couple months ago because we were in quarantine, and obviously we started watching a bunch of movies that we hadn't seen in a while. And so we watched that with my boys and introduced them to that. So when I watch Beverly Hills Cop, I am not sitting there thinking the entire time, boy, I really don't resonate with this because Eddie Murphy's black. Right?
Yeah. Well, that's essentially what they're trying to say.
Yeah. And I'm white, he's black, but I am not sitting here saying that I can't resonate with it and that I can't understand it because he's a black character. It's a good character. It's a good movie. And so I resonate with the fact that, hey, he's an individual. He's a cop. He's doing his thing. He's it's a good story. It's well written. And I, like you said, I'm connecting with it on that level. I don't understand. I really, and because I try, because of what I do for a living, I really try not to make a lot of statements, about things, just because I want everybody to feel comfortable, and I don't want to fight with anybody. But on this issue, like I really don't understand. And I've asked people to try to help me understand, but when I get answers to these things from those types of people, I don't agree with those answers, because like you said, if we're all supposed to be judging people based upon the content of their character and who they are and not the color of their skin, then why are we fighting over the color of our skin? You know what I mean? Like that seems to fly in the face of that argument. And I just feel like it's okay for there to be characters that are black. There's okay for there to be characters that are white, to be Hispanic, to be Indian, to be, whatever. It's okay. But like, why are we trying to take established characters that have been established as because to be honest with you, I really questioned this recently. Like, you could not have somebody else play Black Panther,
Sure.
right? So if you tried to cast a white person or any other background as Black Panther, there would be a huge fight about that, right? Because and why? And justifiably so, because that character has been established as Black, as having a community, as having a heritage and a whole mythology built around it, right? These characters, they have the history to them. There are plenty, like you said, of great characters out there. Static Shock, Black Lightning. But those are just the well-known. I mean, there are so many characters that have been untapped that are out there. Think of what was the guy's name? Was it Blood Rain, who was a part of the Death of Superman? He was part of the Justice League. Part of the Justice League. There's another great African American character.
Yeah.
There are plenty of these characters that we don't have to start changing other characters. Develop those characters.
Yeah.
Give people, if you really want to support somebody's culture, take the characters that are there and lift those characters up and bring those characters up to the level where they need to be in the spectrum of the fandom, and let there be a great coalition of all of us together.
Yeah.
In the fandom.
I mean, yeah, that's exactly what I think as well. Like, I mean, there are two sides to how I perceive it as well. So that's one of them. And then there's also the idea of let's just negate the fact that we're talking about skin color at all, and let's just cast people based on whether they are the right person for the job.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And just negate everything else. And yeah, it's like
that's why, like,
we've cast. There's all these people, and we're going to cast this one because his acting qualities is like top notch. Brings in a certain emotion. Like all these other sort of traits that make someone a good actor.
Absolutely. Well, it's like just recently with the Batwoman casting that just happened this last week. Right.
Yes.
So look, I think she looks great. I think that she's probably going to do a great job. And so I don't have a problem with the casting. I think that that's fine. What concerned me was when they set out the information saying who they were looking for. Because
I didn't say.
Yeah, so when Ruby Rose stepped down, I mean, first of all, when they hired Ruby Rose, because Batwoman is a lesbian character. Okay? So Batwoman is a lesbian character in the comics, which is fine. That's great. That's what we're talking about, right? It's like so you raise a character instead of making a Batgirl TV show about Barbara Gordon and making her a lesbian, right? You make you actually take the character that's gay and you make that show. And so they hired Ruby Rose, and they hired her because I don't want to say because she was gay, because Ruby Rose was fine in the role. She was a good actress. That's fine. But they really wanted to hire somebody gay who was lesbian in real life to play Batwoman, who was gay. And they felt like that was like a prerequisite for doing that. Well, when Ruby Rose stepped away, what was weird was they said, okay, so it's going to be a different character playing Batwoman now, right? So it's not going to be the same person, the same character. So it's not like they just like swapped the actress for, the same character. This is going to be a brand new character. It's going to be Batwoman. And we're still looking for someone from the LGBTQ community to play that character. Now, so I'll tell this to anybody listening, anybody watching this video at any point. Look, if you got a good reason why you can explain to me why that's important, I'll be more than happy to listen to you. I'll have a conversation with you. But here's my question. If it's a different character, are we saying that anybody who ever that's like saying, so Bruce Wayne, for example, Bruce Wayne is gay and he's Batman, right? Bruce Wayne steps away and Dick Grayson becomes Batman. So now Dick Grayson also has to be gay because he's Batman?
That actually make a very questionable relationship between Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson.
Right. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anybody who's becomes Batman is just automatically gay? Like, I don't understand that, right? And then on top of that, I don't like this trend that I'm seeing all of a sudden of if you play a character on a TV show or act, you apparently have to be that thing in real life. That doesn't make any sense to me. Like if you're gonna play a gay character, you have to be gay in real life. So does that mean if you play a straight character, you have to be straight in real life? Like if there's a gay actor who can play that character, why would you not hire that gay actor? You know? And now all of a sudden, like do you ever watch Family Guy?
No, I'm a pro South Park person over Family Guy myself.
Oh, I love South Park as well. I love South Park as well. But I've always been a Family Guy. But you know who Cleveland is, right?
Yeah,
Cleveland. Yeah. So the character Cleveland, that character's been around for over 20 years now.
Yeah.
Right. And the guy who does the voice of him is white. Cleveland had his own show. Cleveland had his own show for like 4 or 5 seasons. Okay. So all this stuff happens a couple of weeks ago, and all of a sudden that guy steps down, and he is now not going to voice Cleveland anymore because they're going to hire somebody of color to now voice Cleveland.
I saw with Simpsons they're doing the same thing as well.
Yeah, they're doing that with the Simpsons as well. Like,
yeah.
So you're going to tell me that now you literally have to hire a Hispanic actor to play Bumblebee guy on the Simpsons, like for the little bit parts that Bumblebee guy does, you know, like when he comes in and just like, oh, Mio, and then he's gone. Like it's called acting for a reason. Like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't understand what world this is, where it's like all of a sudden it's like people aren't understanding it's acting. I'm not saying take a job away from somebody that deserves the job. I'm just saying it's a bad trend. I think.
Yeah, I think yeah. I don't want your channel to die, so let's leave it.
I know. It's just like, but I'm open to hearing people tell me their opinions, and if they have a good reason for it,
yes,
I'll be more than happy to have that conversation.
Like
because
I said to you before, when the first time I came on the show, I said I'm open to having my mind changed at any. So I'll have some opinions, but you can't formulate a proper opinion unless you hear a strong opinion on the opposing side. So yeah, like I said, my opinion is based on my environment here. The political climate is slightly different in America, and I'm sure there's probably some other factors that maybe I probably haven't even considered. And yeah, so. Yeah, that's my.
No, I think you know, Gungaga. I think you make a lot of really good points. You always do when you come in. I've really enjoyed talking to you every time you come in.
The Poindexter Council.
Yeah, so like we randomly do that.
Okay.
Yeah, like we don't have like a schedule right now of when we do those, but let's see. Are we hooked up on social media? Are you under a different name or something? I don't know. I don't want to out you, like, you know, for like a different name or something like that. But all of my social media contacts are in the descriptions of our videos, right? So you reach out to me so that I know that it's you.
Yep. And
we'll see about getting you on the council sometime, because I love your opinions, and I think that it's good to have. I love the fact that you're in Australia, and you know, obviously you have a different perspective, you know?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I'm not sure how we're going to go in terms of moving forward, because I have been off, and that's why I've been managing to jump on these streams. Tomorrow, who knows? Next week, I'm this Monday. I might be able to, but following that, I'm not too sure. So. But we'll work something out sometime. We'll
figure out a time or a place or whatever.
Usually do so.
Absolutely, that's usually what what works best for us. I think it's funny. Soy-based Jeremy just says, would you hire a real meth addict for Breaking Bad? How far are you going to take it? Right. Like, it's interesting, but no, man, you bring up some really good points, and I'm glad to hear. I'm always glad to hear when people have a thought process to their opinions.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah,
When it's like
final opinion, and I'm sure, as you've said, from what I gather, it's not your final opinion either. It's always a working kind of thing. It's like, oh, this is a good point. Oh, this is a good point. You never like, yeah.
When we try to draw a line in the sand and we say this is it, then that's when we stop learning. That's when we stop growing, and that's a bad precedent to start. When we keep the conversations open, that's when we learn from each other. We grow. I think we grow as a society, and we're all better off.
Yeah. All right, mate. I gotta go.
All right, brother.
Make some dinner because it's dinner time here. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're at. Are you at the end of your Monday or the end of your Sunday?
5:39 p.m. at the moment, Monday.
On Monday. Okay, yeah. So you're wow, yeah.
Dinner and being a responsible adult.
So you're in the future.
I can tell you what's going to happen, but
okay, what happens on Monday?
If I tell you, I'd probably have to kill you, though.
Oh darn!
No,
okay.
What else is going to do that? That's part of the future. No,
oh no! Oh no! Okay, all right, man. Hey, Gungaga, it's good talking to you, man. All right, we'll talk to you again soon. All right, man. Thank you, brother. All right, bye bye. Well, guys, I'm always thankful for the conversations that we have, and it's good to see. Hey, what's up, Sphinx Productions? Good to have you in here. Also, Soy-based Jeremy, it's good to see you, man. It's been a while since I've seen you, and I do need a Discord. I gotta figure out a Discord. I don't understand the whole Discord thing, to be quite honest with you. I've looked into it. I've tried to play with it a little bit. I got to figure it out. He says, yeah, you seriously need to set up a Discord. I know, man. Well, hey, hey, Soy, if you wanna give me a hand on that, you know what? I would be actually open to that. So hit me up on social media and we'll talk about it. What's up, System Persona? It's good to see you guys. Lavery Adam says, let's get this up here. Whoops. Moving along here, says we get into those problems because the opportunities are not there and the process don't seem always fair. Hollywood just needs to die for something else to be reborn. You know what? I know that seems like the extreme, but you know what? The way that Hollywood conducts itself is very, very toxic. I don't like to use the word toxic because I think it's thrown around a lot. But it's a good term for it. It's deadly. It is poisonous. It is venomous when people just they have these opinions and they treat people the way that they treat people. It's just so bad. Hey, hold on a second. Got the whole thing moving here, and I can't see who did what. Oh, there it is. Zantet just gave $5 in the super chat. Thank you so much. Hey, right back at you. Much love for sure. I had a feeling. Thank you so much, man. Thank you, Gungaga. You are awesome, man. I really appreciate you. You're awesome. Always love having you on, man. You're a great guest to have on. And I always love having you guys are just great. I love these shows, man, so much because they're so fun because I get to talk to you guys and actually have a conversation with you. That's not just a chat. Obviously, I read the chat and we read the chat on our our things here. But yeah, there's Zantet right there. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much.
All
You are awesome. But yeah, you know, that's the thing. We just love you guys. I love talking to you guys here. Hey, the Cylon Scotty's been around. So always great hearing you and Enosh chat Gungaga. There we go. There we go. So you're a great part of this. Soy-based Jeremy's talking about something that I'm a part of. I do. I'm involved in some various charities here in the area, and I try to give back. Man, we try to help our community that we're in and help people who are less fortunate. And I hope if anything that you guys see when you come here and you're on the channel, that we're just real, that we're not trying to be anything that we're not. Even when we address, some of the issues that we see, and we talk about it, it's really to bring the best out in people. I even said it with this whole thing with Andy Signor and talking to him even. Like, I hope that people saw that I care about that dude. Right? I mean, I know it's Andy Signor and all that stuff, but you know what? I care about that dude. I care about Jody from Jody's Corner. I care about Jeremy. I care about these people because we want to see people be their best. And so thank you so much, Inhuman Quake. This is I love your channel. Let's see. Soy-based Jeremy says, I've been to one, surprisingly, Enosh. I think I missed a comment. Been to one. I don't think I know what one you've been to. What that means. Oh, really? Did you sneak in on me, Soy-based Jeremy? Yes, in Human Quake, I'm glad that you can share nerd stuff with us too. And that's the thing. And here's really what it comes down to. System Persona says, I like Jeremy too, but sometimes he just hates on everything, especially. What did you think of The Last of Us 2 reviews? So I'll say, so I didn't play the game, so I can't really come at it from a standpoint of that. Here, I do want to say real quick, hey, Lavery Adam, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You're awesome. Thank you so much for giving to the channel. I appreciate the gift for sure. You're awesome. Thank you so much, man. So back to systems question here. Oh, by the way, I like the little thing. Larry Adam give a little wink there, like, yeah. Thank you for your support. Definitely appreciate it. So yeah. So about this Last of Us 2 thing, so I didn't play the game. It wasn't something that was personal to me, so I can't really speak to it on that. I've watched the videos though, because I've tried to understand. My kids don't play the game, and after seeing some of the stuff in there, yeah, they're not going to. So I don't understand. I get it when we don't get what we want out of characters, when we have characters that we love, that we see, that we expect things out of, and they're different. And so, like, I don't know what's different about the characters from The Last of Us 1 to The Last of Us 2. So I don't get it. So it's not for me to really say, but I know that people are very much hating on it. What I guess I don't understand though, I mean, and I kind of do understand, and that's the problem. As a YouTuber, I get it. Because if you pump out video after video, like the average person, I think, sits back and they see their favorite YouTuber, right? They see their favorite YouTuber and they go to that channel to listen, to hear, and to hear their commentary or whatever that channel is about, right? The problem is that like a story like this happens, and the tendency of some of these channels is to literally drive the story into the ground, because that is how media seems to work these days. And the ironic thing is that they're using the exact same tactics that they claim to hate, that they claim that they abhor, like with the general media. But they're doing the same thing. They're literally taking like this, for example, something is benign. And I just got to be honest with you. It's just benign. Like, who cares that Brie Larson has a YouTube channel? I don't. She is definitely going. She is Brie Larson. She has millions of followers. She has, or people that like her. She's been in movies and everything else. I am not. So yeah, it's going to be different for me than say that. Hey guys, Gungaga, good seeing you. Silent Scotty, see you. I'm going to get out of here in just a minute too, because we're going at 3 minutes and 10 or 3 hours, I should say, and 10 minutes. But this is my final kind of thing on this. And I just kind of want to encourage you guys to understand this. And that is that, like, as something as benign as that, like, I really don't care that Brie Larson has a YouTube channel. Now, I could hop on here every day and I could complain about it, right? And I could make up this narrative and say, well, she's getting special treatment for some reason, because apparently she's getting something that I'm not getting, right? She got verified or whatever. But she has a lot more potential to bring revenue to YouTube than I do. What I do, I know it's crazy, right? Imagine that. But it's funny because somebody like Jeremy latches onto that, and Jeremy would say in any other video that that it shouldn't be that big of a deal, right? That it shouldn't be that big of a deal, and that some people have, some people don't have, some people have different places and positions. And so if it was anything else, Jeremy would be fine with it. But because it's Brie Larson, it's an issue, because he doesn't like Brie Larson because of what Brie Larson's done in Captain Marvel and all that stuff. So it's like we're kind of mixing up a bunch of stuff and we're making news. Is that kind of what it is? And so then you got these YouTubers that they put out video after video after video after video, because they know that you're their subscriber, and they can push that for you because you're going to come back and watch their video for it, and it's going to make them revenue. And that's how it works. Now, a small channel like me, I am not beholden to do that. That's exactly, yes, Soybase Jeremy, that's exactly how Mike Zero works. And actually, Soybase, I am going to address your last comment here in just a second, but I wanted to give it its proper moment. I didn't want to just mix it in. But you're exactly right. Mike Zero, he's found how to get in front of people and how to exploit the things that they don't like. And Doomcock as well. Both of them, they know that there's people out there who don't like The Last Jedi or don't like, sequel Star Wars. And so they can put out a bunch of information about it, right? Because they know people will click on it, because they just want to believe that anything else will happen. That's where you get it. And that's how it happens. Yeah, Mike Zero is flat out hilarious sometimes, but Sphinx, I like Mark Uno a whole lot better. I'm a little what do I want to say, attached to Mark Uno. For those of you who don't know, if you have never seen one of my videos, I do parody videos of Mike Zero called Mark Uno. And I basically do what Mike Zero does, but I poke fun at him through saying this ridiculous stuff. And so you should check that out. So the last thing I'm going to address tonight, just because it did get brought up here, and I want to say a special shout out, and then we're going to get going. But to Soybase Jeremy, hey man, he says, hey Enosh, be safe, man. And I don't want my pity party, but my grandfather had a stroke. I am so very sorry to hear that. Soy. So I will be praying for you and your family for sure. And I encourage any of you, if you're people of faith, pray for Soy-based Jeremy's grandfather, okay? Or give it a moment of silence, whatever. But I believe in prayer. I believe it works, and I've seen it in my own life. And so my heart goes out to you for sure. Well, guys, we've done it again. We've been here. Thank you to everyone who gave in the super chats. Lavery Adam, thank you so much. Also Zentek, which is Gangaga, you're awesome. And then I know there's that was I know who that was. Where'd he go? Disappeared. I apologize. Yes, System Persona says, I agree. Bree's YouTube channel and content has nothing to do with her acting career, etc. Mike lost fans with his bull, and I agree. Hating on everything creates toxicity. Thanks for answering the question. Absolutely, man. You know what? Look, as I always say, be good to each other. Like what you like. Don't let anybody tell you can't like what you like. Right? I find it really ironic that one of probably the most, I don't want to say hated, because I don't think anybody really hates Rose Tico. They just did not explore her character very well. But even if you hate Rose Tico, she does say something interesting. We're not going to win, right, by fighting about the things that we hate. We're going to win by fighting for the things that we love. And I do think no matter if you love the trilogy, the sequel trilogy, or you hate the sequel trilogy, or you love something or you hate it, whatever. If you like Brie Larson, don't like Brie Larson, whatever. That is still a true statement. Love the things that you love. Keep loving those things. Like those things. Share them with others, right? Find people who are going to build you up and encourage you. And those are the people who are going to really be there for you. If you see people who are surrounded by negativity, when the times get tough, it's usually those type of people who kind of retreat. And I've seen it in my own life. And I've been through some stuff myself, so I know what that's like. So I just want to encourage you. Keep your head up, no matter what you're going through. I know it's a crazy world that we're living in right now, but keep your head up. Keep doing what you do. Just keep knowing that you got a place here at the Poindexter Lounge. Okay, no matter where we go from here, no matter how big or how small we ever end up being, you've got a place here in the lounge. All right. And so we appreciate all of you, and we're thankful for everyone who stops by and is a part of us. All right. Because we are truly a place for nerds. Well, guys, we did it. That's another great night. Another great night of commentary and discussions with you guys. So thanks for joining me. I always love when you guys join me for the call-in show. For those of you who don't like the sequel trilogy, know that there's a video right now on my channel where I interview Darth Angelus, who's actually in the middle of an animation project doing every chapter by chapter of Heir to the Empire. So if you like the Legends stuff, hey, it's right there. You can find links to all of his stuff right here on the channel. He talks about Star Wars, his love for Heir to the Empire, and Timothy Thrawn's trilogy and all that stuff. And you can find that all right here. It's right here. So like I said, we got something for everybody. I love Heir to the Empire. So go check that out here on the channel. You're welcome, Melissa. Hey, I love having you. You're encouraging, and in Human Quake, you're encouraging. I appreciate all of you guys. All right. Until next time, my name is Enosh, aka Enosh Fett, saying be good to each other, treat each other right, love what you love, stay nerdy. Don't let anybody take away your nerd cred. You be who you are. I'm sure we'll have some videos tomorrow. And then, of course, join us on Tuesday for another live stream at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as we do our watch party for Stargirl. And then, of course, we have our nerd discussion afterwards. So at 9 p.m., we just set up the camera and we just talk and kind of like this. So join us for that. Till next time, I'm Enosh. And yes, may the Force be with you all. Till next time. Bye-bye.